Hello there, everyone. Welcome to Brew Jackets. It's a fun Blue Jackets themed podcast. My name is Kevin, and joining me tonight is my co-host, Hefty Duck. And like we always do, we always invite people to come on our show. Whether if they do or don't, different story. There's always next time. I don't know, maybe Ian will come on. You know, he seems to like to make a little surprise appearances here and there. But that's besides the point. But anyways, we got a lot of stuff going on in the Blue Jackets world to talk about. We're going to be talking about the last 3 games that the Blue Jackets have played since our last show, and they lost all 3, and that was terrible, and I hate it. But you know what? There are still some good moments in all 3 of those games, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to be ranking some Blue Jackets jerseys. You know, like jerseys that the Blue Jackets have worn, and what of our favorites. How do we rank them? We're going to do that. You know, we have some little talk about Kent Johnson, Yegor Chinikov. We have, you know, little Big Ten mascot logos that I would like to talk about, and so much more. So, let's get going, everyone. Oh, boy. Is Hefty Duck there? I see him on the screen, but I don't hear him.
Testing. Nothing.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Okay. I was if I do this, I'm going through like hills, so
yeah, all right.
But I'm saying was don't forget,
subscribe,
share where you're watching from. If you're watching Twitter, watch us on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, check out our Twitter. Either way, that's pretty.
Well, this is not all right. Okay. Well,
so, what did you want to talk
about? Well, like Hefty Duck has said, please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That'd be greatly appreciated. And there goes Hefty Duck. But you know what? That's okay. He'll come right back in. Anyways, first things first, I would like to say this. Oh, wait, there's Hefty Duck.
I will be home in like 10 minutes, if that. So this won't be forever, I promise.
Okay. All right then. So I would like to start off with this, is that a lot of people are saying, why is Kent Johnson or Yegor Chinikov on the 4th line? And I could see why they say that, because those are guys that are good players and they have the talent to be first line and second line guys. But, you know, here's the thing. If you watched any Blue Jackets games this season, you would know why they are on the 4th line right now. It's not, for like 9 times out of 10, it's not been good for them. It just hasn't. And that's the truth. And when given more opportunities, which they have, for the most part, it has not done anything. You'll get a goal or 2 here from Chinikov, a goal or 2 here from Kent Johnson. And, you know, Kent Johnson's been really good in the shootouts, and that's cool. That's good. But consistency. We need consistency. Like, you want that first line, second line spot, or any spot in general, but in particular, first line, second line, you really need to step up your game here. We need you consistently good, night in, night out. None of this like, oh, well, I'm going to have a good game today and not the next game and have another good game and, you know, back and forth. Like, you can't do that. You just can't. So if you're out there wondering, hey, how come Kent Johnson or Yegor Chinikov isn't playing first line, second line minutes? That's why. They are not doing it consistently enough to say, yeah, they should have that spot right now. And it's also a little motivation factor for Kent Johnson. A message has been sent. It's not just a Kent Johnson thing. It's just other players in general that Dean Evison has done this to, where it's like, you're not playing very good right now and you want that spot, fine. Prove it. Go out there and play a good game. Show that you want it. Show that you can do it consistently. And there's times he's done it with other players and it's worked out. It's the same thing with Kent Johnson and Yegor Chinikov. So I've said enough for now. We'll get Hefty Duck in here.
Yeah, you said it best. I mean, they need to step their game up. They need to be consistent, but they also need to consistently produce points. Whether it's assists, whether it's goals, they're just like they have those flashes, and we've seen it in the past, but it needs to be right now this season. So, that I have no problem seeing that happen. I mean, we also just saw Fantilli get swapped with Monahan, right?
And then
I think the last game, and and Dean Evison, it was asked about it, and he said, "Well, we've lost like the last few in a row, so what? Why? Like, of course, I'm going to change up shit."
No.
So, I don't, like I said, I don't see any problem with it. I totally understand why they do that, why he would do that too. But I want to see them produce more. I want to see them get up on the first, second line. They do deserve to be there. They're great players, but you need to produce.
That's right.
To produce.
Yep, I agree with that. You need to get your butt in there and let's go, because and another reason we're seeing all these line changes is because let's be honest here. 9 times out of 10 this season, the second line for the Blue Jackets has been awful, and that's not helping. Again, flashes of brilliance where you look good, you have some good moments there, where you have a good shift there, you score a goal, you help the Blue Jackets win, but then there's the other 9 times when you're not out there looking good. And it's like, come on, we need to be better here. We need more consistency. That is a reason why we are seeing all of these line changes in more recent games, where we're just seeing what we have here. If we had a much more better second consistent line, you wouldn't have to be doing this stuff. You wouldn't be having to have some guys, higher up in the lineup than maybe they should be, or lower in the lineup than maybe they should be. But don't have a second line consistently like the Blue Jackets have had this season. It hurts, and you need to do something to change it. Trying something to a little hit and miss, some good and some bad.
Yeah, you're right. You got to shake it up sometimes. And short of like trading somebody, how do you shake it up? Well, that's the thing. You start moving people around. You start putting people where they have been playing, like where they deserve to play, not where like, oh, they're a good player. Yeah, of course they should play first line. But there's only so much like the thought of you being good gets. You have to actually do it. And so, yeah, that's just, I don't say that way she goes.
That's right. And another thing to kind of go with this. So Jason recently put this up on his Twitter page from the Hockey News that I agree with this. And I'm going to put this up on the screen here. We'll zoom in on it so people can see it, which is this right here. So this is another thing that's kind of getting me going here is people. I understand that people are frustrated, they're mad, they're upset, whatever you want to call it, that the Blue Jackets are not doing very good right now. I get that, and I have those same feelings. But at the same time, another thing that I don't like that kind of gets me going is that you have a lot of people that are just saying, trade someone or make a move, do this, do that, and you're just saying it just to say it. That's stupid and idiotic to a certain extent. That gets you nowhere. Doing a move just to make a move is dumb. You're not going anywhere with this. And many times when you ask them a question, when they say, "Oh, trade someone, make a move, do this, do that, fire this, fire that," ba 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 ba, and then you say, "Okay, then what?" What? They have nothing, because you're just saying something to just say something, and that's dumb, and that gets you nowhere. Because if you're gonna say trade or move or fire, then you better have something to come after that. So you have an idea. Because if you're just going to say trade something to trade or make a move or fire someone just to say something, then you're wasting your time. It's rather pointless and idiotic. And this, I'm paraphrasing it, but this is basically what Jason is saying here on his Twitter page. And he made this tweet in a response to someone who's basically sharing that same exact sentiment of, oh, they need to, make a move or do this or do that. And basically he says this: you can tell me anything you want, but all I see when someone else makes a trade is, please, Don, as in Don Waddell, trade for everyone now, or why are we not trading for this person or that person? Every single team is in the same boat. They have too much money to spend, no players to spend it on, and 25 teams are all within a few points of one another. No one except teams like the Avs, so Colorado, the Stars, Dallas, and the Wild, Minnesota, are going to do anything like this. It's been nice talking to you. And the response is, oh, because the Minnesota Wild, they went out and got Quinn Hughes. And good on you for doing that. That's a ballsy move to do such a thing.
I would have never thought that they would have him.
No, but they did. And God, that is such a ballsy move, because this has a potential to screw them so hard, because they gave up a first-round draft pick. They gave up 2 of their top young up-and-coming players that have potential to be like their big stars. They gave up Marco Rossi, who's one of their best centers, and they gave up Z Bulliam, who is one of their top outside of Brock Faber, is their top defenseman, young up and coming star like potential. He's the type of guy that we could be talking about years from now, where he is one of the best defensemen in hockey. He's that good. So that could backfire on him if this thing doesn't work out. But maybe it does work out for Minnesota. But this is what this is in response to, is that's calling these people out that, oh, just because a team makes something, make a move. Well, just saying make a move it just doesn't work like that.
In a bit.
Yeah, so we'll see a little bit, Hefty Doug. So no, I'm sorry. Like if you're one of those people that is just saying, let's just make a move just because you see another team make a move, it's stupid. I'm sorry. It's just no. And again, I understand that many of you are frustrated in the way that the Blue Jackets are playing right now. They're not playing very good right now. And that's me putting it nicely. And that's the truth. They're not playing very good right now. But for many of you, you are letting that frustration get in your way. It's clouding your judgment. Rather than thinking, yes, you want to make a move. Okay, but what then? Who do you trade for? Who do you go get? And the reality is, what Jason's saying here is correct, is that right now, no. Generally speaking, you're not making a move right now, because most teams have too much money to spend players on. No, they don't have too much money to spend, no players to spend it on. And it's very competitive this year in hockey. You look at the divisions from top to bottom, generally speaking, it's tightly packed and it's competitive, where you got teams that are separated by, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even like 6 points. So like no team is just going to go out of their way and just give up a guy because they feel like that, hey, we're right there in it. If we win another game or two, we get right back in it. So that's just the truth on, how I see it is for you people out there just saying make a move just because, that's getting you nowhere. It's getting you nowhere. It's rather pointless. So that's all I have to say about that until Hefty Duck gets back on, which he will. He will be back on. So another thing I would like to say is that for some of you, not all, but for some of you, you're letting your hatred of Elvis Merzlikins get in your way. We'll put that off to the side because Hefty Duck is here. All right, so Hefty Duck, you're back in here. So I kind of want to, you're kind of talking about it a little bit, but I want to kind of get your thoughts on what I was saying about the whole make a move thing, just to make a move thing is stupid, and what Jason is saying.
Yeah, no, and this goes right with what I was just saying about like shaking it up and stuff like that. Like, yes, a shakeup is oftentimes very necessary, but like when it really comes down to it, hold up, I'm just checking something real quick. When it really comes down to it, yeah, a trade might be a good shakeup, but you can't trade just to shake it up. You can't do that. Like everyone, like immediately after like the last game or the game before, everyone's like, trade Chinikov for Sherwood right now. And it's like, but why?
Yeah.
I mean, would Sherwood, I mean, I understand that Waddell is looking at some like older, more experienced guys in the past like year or so, but and that would be older and more experienced than Chinikov. Chinikov has some good experience. He's not a dumb player. He's just not producing like we know he could or he should.
Yeah.
And that's the one I can't. And then, oh my God, after every game, it's, oh my God, we need a new goaltender. We need to trade for a new goaltender, this and fucking that. And it's like, okay, who could we possibly pick up that would be better than what we have? An improvement, an instant improvement. That just doesn't exist. And if you're harping on Jet, if you're harping on them, like, what games are you watching? Because the stats don't tell the full story.
Yeah.
The stats don't tell you that, oh, the defense left this guy wide open, absolutely wide the fuck open, and boom, all of a sudden it's like, 6-1 or something.
Yep.
Like that's when you have that many goals going in, maybe if it happens like in the first period or something like that, maybe the goaltender's having a bad night. But we just see repeatedly, time after time, there's other factors at play than just, oh, the goalie had a bad night. They rarely do. They're very good this year. Very good. And I mean, everyone's going to make mistakes. Some goals have been their fault. I'm not saying that they're totally innocent in everything, but like, yeah, what? Who even knew Quinn Hughes was on the table out there? That's seriously like trading Zach Werenski.
Yeah.
Like, so what return do you possibly think for someone else? I don't know. I'm kind of on board with the kind of like ride it out, improve what we have.
Yeah.
And just to see if it can get better, because I believe it could.
Yeah. And then they want to blame Donald. Oh, he didn't do anything enough in the offseason. Well, okay, but he tried. He legitimately tried.
Coyle's been great.
Yeah. Okay. So he got Charlie Coyle. That's been awesome. He got Troy Coyle. That's been awesome. Awesome third line, fourth line guy. Just stud. Offensively, defensively, better in faceoffs, penalty kill, just leadership, just awesome. Miles Wood, awesome move. He's been a very versatile forward for the Blue Jackets. He's played, top 6 minutes and he's looked good. Played, bottom 6 minutes, third line, fourth line minutes. He's looked good. A road warrior. He's been a big reason why the Blue Jackets have won some of these road games because he scored big goals, toughness, penalty kill, speed, physicality, just watching teams trying to play against him is just so fun to watch because they see this big guy and they don't think he's very fast. And then he just blows right past them and scores a goal and catches him off guard. And they're like, whoa, where'd that come from? Just so hard to play against. And Isaac Lundestrom, he's been awesome. Good third line, fourth line guy. Defense, defense, penalty kill, face-offs. It's, responsible. That's what you want. That's why you got them. And also, they tried getting Noah Dobson. That would have helped out their defense. It's just the issue was that was way too expensive. You would have been giving up Dmitry Voronkov, 2 first-round draft picks, and then a prospect, and maybe another pick. Like, or another player? Like, are you kidding me? Like, no, way too expensive. And then he went out and tried other moves, and it didn't work out. Too expensive. And another thing that happened, the salary cap went up, and then all of a sudden, all of these guys that would have been available are now not available because teams had the money to where they could afford to pay the guys that would have been available in previous years. So it's not from a lack of effort. He's trying here, but you can't make someone do a trade when they don't want to do a trade. It is what it is. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hefty Duck's got microphone issues. You're squeaking. Oh, boy. But anyways, I'll keep talking until, Hefty Duck.
Okay,
we're good. Okay, we're good. Get back in here.
I hit my mic. It just does that way sometimes by accident. But I lost my train of thought after having to fix my mic. Shit. Carry on. Keep her going.
Well, you probably say, how people, he didn't do anything. He did, and then he tried doing stuff, but he just can't because it's just too expensive, and you can't make other teams do trade.
And, what I was gonna say real quick is that we also have to pay some people on a team for next year, so we can't just be going out and selling the farm and getting other players with giant contracts because there's Fantilli. And a couple other players out there who I would like to see stay on the team. We'll see how that goes. I think this next offseason there's going to be a lot more moves. I just think because of the way contracts work out. I think that's part of it. He's looking ahead too because you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot for next season. I mean, what would be the point? I get they're trying to win now. I totally get that. So let's see. Hey, let me fix my camera and I'll be ready to go.
But you want to win now, which is understandable, but at the same time, they're still a young up-and-coming team that's not only building now, but for the future. And you're right, Hefty Duck, you do have to be mindful about that and be careful that you just don't do some stupid move that can, screw you now and in the future. And you do have contracts that are coming up that are going to be signed. Adam Fantilli, eventually Kirill Marchenko is going to need another contract. Dmitry Voronkov, and you can go down the list. There's guys that you need to be careful with here, that you need to save money for, that you can't just go out of your way to just blow money just because and make a move. You just can't do that.
Hey, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
All right, fair enough. So I'll say this before Hefty Duck gets back in here, and then we'll go to other stuff. And I was just saying before, many of you let your hatred of Elvis Merzlikins get in your way. If he gives up a goal, you automatically assume that it's his fault when that's not always the case. And that's not good. Yeah. All right, so Hefty Duck's back in here. So we'll just say this, and then we'll get on to the games. So I was saying before, some of you out there, you're letting your hatred of Elvis Merzlikins get in your way. If he lets in a goal, you automatically assume that it's his fault, whether that's the case or not. You're already go, Elvis, 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 derp, 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 Elvis, Elvis, without actually seeing, was it actually his fault or not? And I'm not even saying that he's perfect, because he's not. Elvis Merzlikins sometimes is bad. Sometimes he's good. Sometimes he lets in a goal that he shouldn't, but he does it anyways. But then on the flip side of that, he makes a big save to keep the Blue Jackets in the game. There are games that the Blue Jackets have lost in part because of Elvis Merzlikins. There's games that the Blue Jackets have won in part because of Elvis Merzlikins. Elvis Merzlikins, he's really good in shootouts. The Blue Jackets win games in shootouts because Elvis Merzlikins is really good in shootouts. But for some of you, nuance is a little hard. You just automatically assume, it was Elvis Merzlikins' fault if a goal gets scored on, without actually looking into, was it actually his fault? Sometimes the answer is yes. Oh, yeah, that's a bad goal there. Shouldn't have given that one up there. It was a squeaker. He shouldn't have let that one through, but he did. Or, it's this or that. Or it's, nope, sorry, that one's not his fault, because you know what? Defense kind of not doing him any favors here. They couldn't get the puck out, and then you're not really playing any good defense and leave a dude wide open, and he's hung out to dry, and he gets scored on. Or he's kind of screened in front, so it's kind of hard to see it. So no, nope, not really his fault in that scenario. And that's all I'm saying here is, let's be just a little consistent here. Acknowledge that, you know what, he is what he is. Sometimes he's bad, sometimes he's good, and sometimes it's not his fault when he gives up a goal. Because I only see some of you people doing this for Elvis Merzlikins. We'll talk about this later on in the show when we're talking about some of the games here. But I'm just speaking in generalities here. But there are some goals that Jet Greaves gives up that's like, ooh, that's a bad one. He should not have given that one up. But yet, I don't see you with that same energy out there going, oh, Jet. Oh, that's his fault. He gave up a goal. No, you're not doing that. You are going out of your way, and you are, coming up with different reasons. Well, it wasn't his fault because of this or because of that or blah, 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 blah. When sometimes, no, sorry, sometimes it was his fault. But you're only doing that for Elvis Merzlikins. You're not doing that for Jet Greaves, when you should be doing it for both. It should be a little give and a little take for both. It should be, you know what? Oh, that's not his fault. That shouldn't have happened. Or yes, sometimes it is his fault. He shouldn't have gave that goal up, but he did. But you're only doing that for Elvis Merzlikins and not Jet Greaves. And in my opinion, that's really lame and bogus, and it needs to stop. Consistency.
Yeah. I see that a lot. I maybe saw like one their night after a loss, someone was like, "Oh, all our goalies suck." It's like, bro, do you know what it takes to get there? Do you know the goalies that have come and gone? Do you know Tarasov? Wasn't Spencer Knight on the team for a while at one point? Was he not? Who am I thinking of? Martin. Okay, yeah. Yeah, totally different guy. Oh my god. The brain fart. Yeah, Spencer Martin, now he's goaltending for the Hawks. He's been doing pretty well for them. But sometimes it doesn't work out in a certain place. So consistency. Just look at it like with because a lot of people are looking at this through like rose-colored lenses, or so to speak, and they see, with rose-colored lenses, every flag is red, so to speak. Like, everything's going wrong. Everything's going wrong. And it's like, take them off, watch the game, look at what's going on, and recognize that there's more players out there than just a goaltender.
Mm-hmm.
It's simple.
Yeah. All right, so now we'll get going to the games here because we got 3 games to talk about, and then there's other stuff that I would like to talk about, and there's other stuff that Hefty Duck probably wants to talk about too. So, anyways, the first game, the Blue Jackets were in Carolina. They lost 4-1, and honestly, that was a 7 out of 10, as much as you could get for a loss. And what I mean by that is this: is that first period, Blue Jackets play a good game, one of the better periods they played all season long. They get the goal on the power play from Dmitry Voronkov. And it's not just that they scored a power play goal. That was one of the better power play goals they've scored all season long. And the reason why is that it's just, it was, shots on goal, good puck movement, and then they finally got one in on Voronkov. And another thing I like about it is that they used Carolina's strength against them, which is this. And I've seen this. I've watched some games against or it's not the Blue Jackets, but like obviously Carolina's been good enough where they're making the playoffs consistently now. And you watch some games, and then you hear the announcers talk about what is a strength for Carolina can also be a weakness and used against them, which is this. Carolina plays a very, very aggressive, tight checking defense where they are on you right away. They don't give you a lot to shoot at, and that can be a good thing. Where it can, backfire is that because they're so aggressive that they can be out of position if you get the puck behind them because they're so aggressive compared to what other teams do, which is it's a little more structured and they're not so as aggressive. But if you're playing Carolina, like their really aggressive, tight checking defense can be used against them. If you let them play that aggressive, tight checking defense, and then you get the puck behind them, you can get some good chances on them because they're so aggressive, they get out of position. And that's what happened there on that goal from Dmitry Voronkov on the power play, is that they were being very aggressive on the power play. And that can be good, that can be bad. And this instance, it was bad for them because the Blue Jackets, good puck movement, they got the puck right behind them. And by the time the puck gets to Voronkov, it's too late. The puck's in the net. And like when you're playing a team like Carolina, that's what you have to do, is that you have to use their aggressiveness against them. Because other than that, from my perspective, they really don't have a weakness. But if you use that against them, you can score some goals on them. And that's what happened in the Dmitry Voronkov goal. The second period was an 8 out of 10 for me. You gave up a goal there, and there's some other moments where Carolina looked good there. But other than that, it was a pretty good period there by the Blue Jackets. Where this game falls apart, it's in the third period where you give up 3 goals. And you can't do that. And it really starts like this. Both Carolina and the Blue Jackets in the third period, they're playing a good game. It's evenly matched. And this is where, again, we say this time and time again on the show, but brain fart, stupid mistake. Dante Fabro, he tries he's right. He hasn't crossed center ice yet, but he's right by it. And he tries dumping it in. And he doesn't get it in. It gets picked off. And he tried a more cutesy play where you kind of flip it just to get it in there, and it doesn't work. In that scenario, looking back on it, it needs to be one of those things where just a slap shot where you just rim it in there really hard. Get it in there and go off. And because he didn't do that, it gets picked off. It goes the other way 2-on-1 because everyone else is making, for both teams, everyone else for both teams is making a line change. But it becomes a 2-on-1 and you get scored on because of a dumb brain fart moment. And then that goal right there that Carolina scores, that is the one that effectively kind of killed it for the Blue Jackets there, because that gave so much momentum for Carolina that they built off of that they got 2 more goals off of that pretty quickly. And then what was also another killer is that the 4th goal that they scored, I mean, empty net, it happens, but the fact is that you had a 6-on-4, Blue Jackets, a 6-on-4. So a penalty gets called on Carolina, you pull the goalie, 6-on-4. Generally speaking, you're probably going to score on that. And generally speaking, you're not going to get scored on that. But you get scored on that on a 6-on-4, and you can't do that. Like, that's a no-no. That is a huge no-no. And you don't score in the power play, and that was the end of that. So ultimately, that was a 7 out of 10. That was, the best 7 out of 10 that you could have without winning the game. You had basically two good periods, minus giving up the goal in the second period, and then it went down the toilet in the third period, and you can't do that. If you don't do that, if you don't have that bad third period, the way that game is played, it goes to overtime, and you have a good chance of winning it. But you pissed it away in the third period, and unfortunately, that's just how it went.
Yeah, and I brought this up last week, but it seemed to be like the revenge of the former Blue Jackets players the week before, when JVR scored on them, and then Seth Jones scored on them, and here we have yet another former Blue Jacket, Eric Robinson, scoring that second goal for Carolina, which gave them all the momentum that they needed. And they gave a power play goal, of course.
Yeah.
It's just, it makes me so nervous whenever the Blue Jackets get a penalty, because it's just the track record this year is not very good with that. It's had its ups and downs, but in general, it's been a little bit rough. So the very first goal by Dmitry Voronkov, why this worked out so well is he perfect positioning. I've been harping all year and saying, like, oh, when the Blue Jackets have a power play or when they're up a man, they're not playing. It looks like they're playing 4-on-4 and like playing safe, like with someone up at the top or something like that, like staying away from the action or whatever. But in this instance, it looked like they were playing with the extra man, and it resulted in a goal. I mean, some of that's going to come from, like I said, like playing safer, like trying to play too safe. That's understandable to a certain extent because like no one wants to get a shorthanded goal against them. But yeah, absolute great feed from Monahan. Marchenko to Monahan to Voronkov made that pretty sick. The first goal for Carolina, I mean, you end up seeing time and time again how even just a quick fall has totally screwed the Blue Jackets. For instance, that one game in overtime,
Florida.
Who were they playing?
Panthers.
Yeah, where Werenski falls down, and then boom, it's pretty much a free. It's a 2-on-1 at that point.
Yeah.
And shit's gonna happen. You're gonna fall. It's ice. You're playing on ice with blades. It's gonna happen. But that's, I mean, Provo fell, kind of lost the puck. Pass got around. Boom. You pay for it.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, the Eric Robinson shot, that was a very nice shot. I think that the defense could have been a little bit better there. Oh man, Jordan Stahl. I don't like the Stahl brothers, but that's just me personally. If they were on my team, I wouldn't mind them. But yeah. This one, power play. Is this a power play goal? Yeah, power play goal. Absolute snipe. They were just doing circles around the Blue Jackets here. I don't know what the third period has where the disconnect between the whole rest of the game and the third period has been for the Blue Jackets, because they'll play great, and all of a sudden they look gassed in this one.
Nice.
And this was not a back-to-back. You know, this was a fresh legs, fresh goalie, fresh everything. So, you know, and then yeah, the shorthanded goal. At that point, everyone on the ice was to blame for that, but specifically at the very end too. he was doing what he could, but Martin needed pinned against that wall by Werensky. He needed absolutely demolish or hit, and at that point, I think Werensky was out there for like a minute, over like a minute and a half at that point or something. And which Werensky does, and he can do it fine. This is the very, very end of the game. Everyone's kind of emptying out their gas tank here, and it just looked like it. Now, to be fair, Werensky has a way of moving to where he looks like he's moving slower than what he actually is.
That's true.
We saw it with Patrick Laine a lot too, where they're just kind of big, lumbering kind of dudes, and end up paying for it. But overall, I mean, I'll give this one first 2 periods absolute. I mean, they gave up a goal, but it still would have been an easy 8 out of 10 for me. Third period brings all that down to a 6 out of 10 for me. Personally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, stay out the box.
Yep.
Also, though, I want to talk a little bit about Carolina's goaltender, Bussy. He's been on fire. He has done something I think that no other goaltender in the NHL has ever done. He won 10 out of his first 11 starts in the NHL. That's not necessarily the only reason they won, but man, when you're on fire like that, you're just. I mean, obviously he gave up a goal early on. Brick wall after that.
Yeah.
Right.
It kind of the way they're talking about him, it kind of sounds like they for now that Carolina's kind of found their own version of a Jack Greaves kind of a guy. But
yep.
But anyways,
good luck. It's not against our team.
Yeah, he's not against our team. Yeah, but well, oh, look at this. StreamYard keeps giving us some fun stuff to play with. A little Christmas theme. Look at this.
For those of you listening, we got some little Christmas decorations around the outside.
Yeah, look at that.
As we have only 11 days till Christmas. Oh my God.
Ooh, yeah. Okay,
I'm too broke and need too many gifts yet. Damn.
Let's see what do we got. Yeah, that one's not very good. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Yeah. This one's better. But anyways,
I like this. We'll keep that one.
Anyways. All right. So on to the next game. I'm going to put this up on the screen because I put this on our show's Twitter page that perfectly describes what it is. So the game against Ottawa. First period was a 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10, because the only thing that was good about that is you get a goal from Boone Jenner there. That was it. And I'm going to say sorry to Zach Werenski because that play, he's wide open and he's like, oh God, wide open guy, shoot. And then he doesn't shoot it. And I said, oh, you got to shoot that. And shortly after I said, you got to shoot that, puck goes to Boone Jenner, he shoots and scores. I'm like, okay, well, sorry, Zach Werenski. Sorry. I won't say anything. I'm just going to shut up. Sorry. So that was really the only good thing about that first period, is that you get the goal from Boone Jenner. Other than that, it was god awful, just terrible. Very, very, very lazy. And as I put up on the show's Twitter page up on the screen, so the first goal that the Blue Jackets give is on Elvis Merzlikins. That he has to be better. He's got to stop that one because it is a squeaker. It's kind of like a backhand, and like he stops most of it, and then it just squeaks through between the legs through his 5-hole. And you can't do that. That needs to be better. And why that matters is because it gave Ottawa a little momentum. And shortly after that, they score another goal to make it 2-0. That one was a little bit of both. You could kind of make the argument that maybe Elvis Merzlikins could have stopped that. But the defense in front of him is not helping. The coverage needs to be better. And Elvis Merzlikins was kind of screened in front. So, like, as a defense, if you're not going to put in the work to play better defensively, have better coverage, and get guys out of there so he's not screened, then you're going to get scored on. You share some responsibility on that. Sure, maybe you can make the argument, okay, Elvis Merzlikins, he could have stopped that one. But defensively, you're not helping him out when you're lazy and you are not playing good defensively. And you're and because of that, there's guys in front and he's screened and he can't really see it to a certain extent. You're not helping. So it's a little bit of both. Third goal, this one's on Elvis Merzlikins, and Elvis Merzlikins knows it. Because when you watch the replay of him getting scored on, he knows it. He knows that he had to stop this one because he kind of had his look on his face like crap, like in anger and like disgust, like I should have had that one. And the reason why that gets scored on is because Elvis Merzlikins is not set. He's still kind of moving and grooving. If Elvis Merzlikins is in position and he's set, he stops that one. But because he's not in position, he's not set, it gets scored on. So 2 out of the 3 goals there, that's on Elvis Merzlikins. So third goal's on Elvis Merzlikins, needs to be better. He stopped that if he's set and it is in position. Elvis Merzlikins gets pulled. The fourth goal that gets scored on is on Jet Greaves, but that's not really his fault because it's lazy defense and not being able to get the puck out. Blue Jackets played a good game the rest of the game. Only good thing about the first period was that the Blue Jackets get a goal from Boone Jenner. Bad first period hurts the Blue Jackets. If you have a bad if you don't have that bad first period, you win the Blue Jackets win that game on to the next one. And it's true. It's true, is that bad first period screwed you, Blue Jackets. It absolutely did. Because you take that away, you're winning that game 3-2. Because you look at how they played in the second and the third period, it's way better. It's not even close to what they played in the first period. One bad period screws you, and it does you in. And that's the unfortunate reality. You don't have that bad first period, you're winning that game. Because you watch Ottawa play. They didn't have a lot going on 5-on-5. You could tell that was a weakness that they had, is that they could not really get a lot going 5-on-5. Their power play was good, and that's evidence they scored a goal on the power play. But when it was 5-on-5, for the most part, they were awful. And when you're 5-on-5, if you suck at 5-on-5 and you're playing the Blue Jackets, that's a recipe for disaster. 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose. If you suck at 5-on-5 against the Blue Jackets, you're going to lose because the Blue Jackets are good at 5-on-5. That's where they score a good chunk of their goals is 5-on-5. And the Blue Jackets have played games where they've won because they've exploited a team that sucks at 5-on-5. Where it'd be like, whoa, it's 2-3-4 nothing, just like that. Because you suck at 5-on-5 and the Blue Jackets are good and they've exploited that. So take away that bad first period and you win that. But unfortunately, a bad first period screws you, and that's the reason why you lose.
Yeah. Because, I mean, without being behind, the final goal then as well from Claude Giroux there wouldn't have been no empty net because you wouldn't have had to need an empty net. Yeah, that first one's squeaked by. Should have had that. That's rough. Yeah, let's talk about was it the second one here? Yeah, so Ottawa's coming down the ice. At the time, it was like a 3-on-2 and then turned into a 4-on-3 with Ottawa's fourth guy kind of at the very, like, at the red line still, like, out of the play pretty much, not really whatever. So it's like a 3-on-4, and they just let him rip shot home. Just let him rip it.
He screamed.
Yeah. And, and screened right in front of him. I mean, Provorov's a pretty big dude. But we'll talk a little bit about Cole Sillinger here in a little bit as well. Power play goal, got kind of dominated on that one. That definitely if he was fully set and ready to go, could have got that. That first goal by Boone Jenner, I was almost wondering if it was going to get called back because he was completely in the crease, which, like, I mean, he wasn't touching the goaltender, but, like, it was damn close. I was watching it on my phone at dinner, and yeah, surprised just a little. So I couldn't quite see like as well on like the little tiny phone, but yeah. And then after they brought in Jet Greaves, I feel like with a proper warm up and not having to go in the game, I don't know. I don't think he could have got that one. That was a hell of a shot by Amadio. Like, defender should have been on him. Hold his pocket like you were. Was that the Batherson goal or something where it looked like there was a power play for Ottawa, and there wasn't. It just looked like they were playing 5-on-4 because two of you were in the same spot right in front of the goal, kind of blocking the view. And so, yeah, Spitzla, then you also can't let that guy go. That goal was sucked. I mean, who do you think that one's on? Like, that was the one where it gets behind Elvis, and it kind of was under his pad for a second, but it was not under there long enough. They immediately, like, everyone, all the skaters on the ice could see it, and Ottawa just gets it home then.
So, really, for that is, I think, part of that is that you just kind of stop playing. You just assume that Jet Greaves has it, and even Jet Greaves just assumed that he had it when he didn't. And it's like, I understand why you do that and why you feel that way, but you can't do that because you need to keep going until they call that play dead and the whistle's blown. Because if you keep going and you play till that final whistle's blown, that doesn't happen. Because someone would notice that and they would immediately put a stop to that. They would box someone out and make sure that something like that does not happen. Or, you see this happen too, where you're in a scrum like that and either, a player, he gets the puck and he puts it back into the goalie, or he'll, like you see him, he'll say something to the goalie like, hey, puck. And then it will pick up on that and he'll quickly get it. If you play that correctly, that doesn't happen. But because, again, brain fart moment where you don't play until the whistle stops, it gets scored on.
Yeah.
And you just can't do that.
Yeah, because even because like on offense, you wouldn't think twice. You'd be going for it hard. And like, yeah, it was covered up for a second. Just because it's covered up for like a tiny bit doesn't mean that it's like safe or whatever. And just gotta pay attention there. I don't know what was really going on, but in the last goal, I'm not even going to comment on it. It's an empty net goal. It is what it is. I thought that the Blue Jackets did pretty well staying out of the box, although they did pay for it the first time. This game was like flip-flopped, which is really weird to me because lately it's been the third period downfall for the Blue Jackets. This one was the first period, and they played pretty damn well in the third period.
Yep.
All they did was give up that one empty net goal. They had one penalty, Sillinger for high stick on Brady Tkachuk. I can't talk too much shit about that one, but yeah, overall, because of that first period, this one's like a 6 for me.
Yeah,
like
I agree with that. That's because of the first period, and you lose. It's a 6 out of 10 because everything else about that game was good. Had you won, that's at least a 7, but you lose, so it's a 6. Anyways.
Easy.
All right, on to the next game. The Blue Jackets lost to Vegas 3-2, and this is the game of all the games this week that the Blue Jackets are really going to be looking back at it and kicking themselves and being like, damn, we should have had that one because of this. 9 times out of 10, this is a game that the Blue Jackets were playing way better than Vegas. They dominated 5-on-5. And again, you see the analytics and you say, oh, if you played this game such and such out of 10 times, this team wins it. Let's say 8 out of 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, etc., etc. This is one of those times that if you play that game 10 times, let's say 8 or 9 out of 10 times, the Blue Jackets win that game. Playing a real good game, dominating 5-on-5. And why don't they win it? Because you had so many chances to put it away. And you, outside of those 2 goals, you can't get it done. Don't get it done on the power play. And for a team like Vegas, they have the talent that they can score at any time. That they can, if you let them hang around and you don't put your chances away, stuff like that's going to happen. So you can't do that. But unfortunately, it did. You had so many chances to put it away, and other than the 2 goals, you didn't. And what was a big-time killer is you have a 4-minute power play, and you pull the goalie, and you don't get it done. Unacceptable. You can't do that. And the last 2 seasons here, this is something I've noticed, and I'm not very happy with this. And this is something that the Blue Jackets have to get better at, is that the last 2 seasons, just about any time the Blue Jackets have had a 4-minute power play, they suck at it and they don't score.
Yeah.
And
it's like the pressure just gets to them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just power plays can be one of those things where even if you don't score, you can build momentum off of it and you can use that for later on in the game. It's also the other way, where if you don't score on a power play, you can lose momentum and it goes the other way. And that's what's been happening the last couple seasons, from my perspective, when the Blue Jackets have a 4-minute power play. They get a 4-minute power play, and for whatever reason, they suck at it and they don't score. And that's a killer. Because if you have a 4-minute power play and you don't score at least once, that's a big reason why you lose. You just can't do that. So you had so many chances to put it away, you couldn't get it done. And then when Vegas had chances to score, they put it in the net. And this is one, and the third goal, this is one of those that if you're Jet Greaves, you wish you had this one back, because this is one that Jet Greaves, you got to be a little bit better on this, because this is the reality. Compared to other goalies, you are a shorter dude. You can't cover the net as well compared to other people. You are good as a goalie in many ways. But the one thing that teams are starting to pick up on, that they see as an issue that they can exploit, is that because you're a smaller dude, you cannot cover some of the net as well as other goalies. And because of that, there's spots in the upper half of the net that are open that under any other circumstance are not open. But because you're a shorter dude and you can't cover the net as well, you get scored on certain areas like that. And that's what happened there, is that he just went down just a little too low, and he leaves a spot open that he can't cover because he's a smaller dude and gets scored on. If he any other time, that's not a goal, but unfortunately, because he's a smaller dude, he goes down and he gets scored on because he can't cover the net as well. If he just stays up, that's not a goal. And unfortunately, that's a goal he's going to want to have back. And when earlier on in the show, when I say you're only caring about ripping on Elvis when he gives up a bad goal, and you're always ripping on him when he gives up a goal, even when it's not his fault, you don't do that for Elvis. Because if you wanted to be fair and balanced, that goal that Jet Greaves right there, that is a goal right there that you would be ripping on him for. Like, you got to stay up. Can't be down so low. But people don't do that. You find so many excuses to make for Jet Greaves. Oh, it's not his fault. It's this. It's that. It's this. No, it's consistency. It's both. So that's a goal where he should have been better, but unfortunately, he wasn't. Now, Jet Greaves did make some big saves to keep the Blue Jackets in the game. But unfortunately, You had so many chances to put it away, and you couldn't do it. And that played a big role why you lose that game. 6 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. What a great shot by Coyle at the beginning of that game.
Yep.
For the first goal. Because Vegas was putting the pressure on so hard, as Vegas does, as many of the teams that the Blue Jackets struggle against do. But it was some good passing. That's what got him there. That's what got him the goal. Was some quality passing. If you've listened to the show in the past, you've probably heard me bitch about it all fucking season. Don't lose the puck by passing it. It's gonna happen here and there, sure, but it was like an epidemic. I keep saying the term stick to stick type shit. I'm tired of saying it. It pissed me off saying it just now. But anyway, great passing. Charlotte Coyle, great shot. I love to see what he's been doing for the team here. That power play goal, I mean, you're playing a zone defense, but you did leave a guy wide open on the defensive left circle. So what do you expect? I mean, it's not like they have a I don't know. Anyone can one time. It's not just Ovechkin. Not anyone can, but as well. But wide open, just wide open for Pavel Dorofeyev.
Yep.
Dorofeyev. I love seeing the goal from Chinikov. That was fantastic to see.
Yep.
Cleaning it up out there. That was his third of the year. The next goal, oh my God. So this is yet another
brain fart.
Is this the Ben Hutton goal?
Yep, brain fart, okay. Because you make a bad line change and
horrible line change.
Wide open.
It's like the 5th time in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This is a basic thing. A basic thing. This is things that they teach you in Pee-wee. Just keep an eye on the ice. You see how Vegas is all the way on the other side of the ice because they know there's a change coming. They know that. They know they're gassed. So of course they're as far away from the player side boards as can be, and just let them right through. You don't even see the third guy coming in until after the goal is pretty much scored. So horrible positioning, bad timing. Brain fart after brain fart. Sorry if you heard that. I should put my phone on mute and think about it. So yeah, and then the icing on the cake was, of all people, Braden McNabb getting his first goal of the year against Jet Greaves. You're absolutely right about that. I mean, he just shoots it straight at him, just over his head, just straight at him. It was just over his head, just straight. That sucks, because if it's over your head, it should be over the goal.
Yeah,
I get that he's a little bit shorter, but you got to figure out how to work with that, because the book's out now too. We've talked about this before, how he kind of had a couple freebies there last season and then the beginning of this season. People not quite knowing him as well as they would know Elvis, because everyone knows Elvis glove side. Everyone knows. So with Jet Greaves, everyone's going to be shoot it at his head, shoot it up at the top. Top cheese. That's where they're going to go for it. And you have a defenseman like McNabb, who, albeit, I mean, obviously he's in the NHL, he's a fantastic player, fantastic defenseman, but he's not necessarily a goal scorer. That's his first of the year, and we're 30 some games in. Damn. Yeah, that was piss poor there. And it's the third period. Third period bug bites again. Why? It's constantly the third period. Obviously that one game in the first period got away with them. Got away from them. But it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's an issue. This has to be talked about in the locker room, in the coaches' meetings. This is something that has to come up. Has to. where's the solution for this? Because we're in the middle of the season. Conditioning is not, it's just not the time for that.
No.
You don't have days to do that because you have to play every other day for the most part. Or sometimes actually, at the most, you get like 2 days in a row. Like this week, they play on Tuesday, so you get Sunday, Monday off. You're not gonna make them condition before a game like that. Like, but is that what it is?
No.
What's going on? I mean,
I've often wondered, like, the way that the Blue Jackets have played under Dean Evison, let's say 9 times out of 10 has been very beneficial compared to what they had with Pascal Vincent and Brad Larson, where it is definitely better defensively compared to those guys, and it's definitely better offensively. And it's just so, fast, aggressive, like go getter, like let's go, 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 push the pace, north, 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 go forward, pucks on net, outwork the other team, out hustle them, work your ass off. If you don't score, go get the puck again and put the puck on net again, which to a certain extent explains why they're so good at 5-on-5, why they're one of the better teams at 5-on-5, not just this past season, but this season they're pretty good at 5-on-5 too. When they're one of the better teams scoring on the rush this season, in part because they're good at 5-on-5 and that speed and just that, go, 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 go attitude of let's go, 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 fast, 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 outwork the other opponent, work your ass off, grind it out, that sort of thing. And I just often wonder if that's tiring them out by the time they get to the third period, that they're just not as good. Like that whole style that they play for the most part has been very beneficial to the Blue Jackets. It's kind of where they are right now, where they are a much better competitive team compared to where they used to be, where it was god awful for the most part. But I just wonder if that play is playing a role into it, where they're just so going balls to the wall, 110%, go, 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 first 2 periods, that by the time the third period comes around, they're just tired. And this maybe it's a learning experience, that where it's like, you know what? Learning when to do it and when not to do it. Maybe you don't go so go, 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 go aggressive all the time. Maybe you save some of that for later on in the game. So I don't know, that may be right, could be wrong, but I'm just throwing that one out there. Perhaps that has something to do with it, just because the way that they play is just so aggressive and just go, 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 that it might be tiring them out when the third comes.
Well, and looking at like ice time, for example, too, they're relying so heavily on like 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah.
So heavily. And that's a lot of teams. A lot of teams have, it's more than just one guy who's good anymore. There's more than just that one guy on the team. There's a whole team. But like looking at the minutes a little bit, I mean, obviously the defensemen are going to be up top. Werenski, Provorov, Matejchuk, Severson. But then Marchenko, Monahan, Fantilli. I mean, Marchenko averages 19 minutes a game. 18:40 for Monahan, 18:22 for Fantilli, 17:22 for Coyle. And then there's 4 guys with about 16 minutes, Cylinder, Vronkov, Fabro, Jenner, who maybe could take another couple shifts or 2. And after that, unfortunately, it drops off by at least 2 minutes, and now we're seeing Ken Johnson not getting the minutes. Olivier got his minutes cut from last year too. I don't know if that's what the exact reason for that is. I thought that he's been playing well. I feel like with the extra minutes, he would be producing more. Obviously, he's injured right now. But yeah, then you have Miles Wood, who's been showing up and showing out game in and game out. I mean, he's got 12 points. And he's only getting, let me make sure I highlight this so I can say it right. He's averaging 13 and a half minutes a game. When you have Coyle up there, I'm not ripping on any of these guys at all. With 17 minutes, like, Miles Wood is a good player. Throw him out there for an extra shift or two. Shake it up a little bit. Put him in a higher spot in the lineup. I think that he's like I'm going a lot by the eye test. He's he got 12 points in 26 games. That is more than you can say for quite a few guys who are a couple guys who are getting more minutes than him. And all the rest of the guys, I totally understand to a certain extent. Lundestrom, Gauntz, Brent Smith, Jake Christensen, they're all getting not that many minutes. But then Yegor Chinikov, he's almost at the very bottom.
Because
it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes, 3 seconds.
Because like we said earlier on in the show, it's consistency. Sometimes you're good, but then you're just not there. So like that's what I'm about to say here is that part of this why the Blue Jackets are only playing like 4 or 5 guys like crazy is that's what they can count on right now. They try playing other guys, and for the most part, it doesn't work. And because they don't play good, they do a dumb mistake that costs the Blue Jackets. And when you're playing these games that the Blue Jackets have been playing for a good chunk of the season, which is very tight, competitive games where you're either down by a goal or two or you're up by a goal or two, you really can't afford to be making a lot of mistakes. You just can't. And when you look at that defensively, yeah, there's been some issues with the Blue Jackets defensively. And when you look at that, you don't have a lot of room, a lot of margin to make any mistakes. You can maybe afford 1 or 2 mistakes. Anything over than that, it's just no. So to a certain extent, they're playing some of these guys because they know that they can count on them to do something offensively or defensively. Some of these guys they play, it's like, no, you just can't. It would be easier for the Blue Jackets to spread out some of these minutes, and it would help them if they could count on some of these other guys to be good consistently, to not have a brain fart mistake defensively or just make a dumb play offensively. But unfortunately, where the unfortunate reality where the Blue Jackets are right now, they're not in that position to where they can count on someone else to do it because you're making a dumb mistake, brain fart, and it's costing the Blue Jackets. Sometimes they're able to get away with it and still win the game, but sometimes they're not able to get away with it and they lose. So that's, to a certain extent, that's what it is. It's like you're playing these guys all these extra minutes because you can trust them and they're good, but some of these other guys, they're not really doing anything, and that's not helpful. Like, you need other guys to step up so that you can spread out the minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, realistically looking at this, there's only really there's 2 guys in here that I think aren't getting the minutes maybe they deserve, although I have a little bit of criticism for Cole Sillinger in the last there was 2 goals this last week that he was kind of just standing there in the middle of the ice, not on a man, not in a really much of a zone area. On just let them shoot right past him. And the one, I think he looked kind of gassed, but yeah, Sillinger's averaging now. This is good minutes, especially for Sillinger. He's getting 16 minutes 22 seconds on average, which is fantastic. But I guess never mind. I was comparing him to the guy right below him, which was Den Matejchuk. That's defenseman. I don't count. Wow, damn, yeah, he's getting more minutes on average than Boone Jenner is, which I like to see Boone back. I like to see that he scored a goal.
Yeah.
After he came back too. I really, really hope Olivier is coming back soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the word is on him, but yeah, just getting gas, third period, and then getting thrashed.
Yeah.
But then, like, I don't know, like the other night when they got so behind in the first period, like maybe they trying to like keep a little in the tank, and that's what got to him. I don't know. Because I mean, we've seen quite a few. I mean, we've seen a lot of overtimes. The NHL has had a shit ton of overtimes this year, just in general.
Yeah.
But the Blue Jackets specifically have also seen a lot of overtimes, and I think that sometimes that conditioning comes back and haunts them, because if they can just make it to the shootout, they can like 90% chance win.
Yeah, because
Right.
the Blue Jackets are ridiculously good in shootouts, not just Elvis Merzlikins, but like you have guys that 9 times out of 10, you can score. You can throw out a Kent Johnson, and he's going to get it. Generally speaking,
He's
you
3
can
for
throw
4.
out. You can throw out a Kril-Marchenko, and generally speaking, he's going to score
5 for 5.
Yeah.
Unreal.
So
Fucking automatic.
He's good there, and I know Adam Fantilli, he's missed the last 3 shootout attempts, but even if you put that off to the side, he's still good. He can get you some goals. So it's like, yeah. So like if you can just get to the shootout 9 times out of 10, generally speaking, you're going to win, because the Blue Jackets are ridiculously good in shootouts.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to yawn. Yeah, and I mean the goaltending is pretty solid at shootouts too.
Yeah.
Because they know it's a one-on-one. There's no one out there screening them by accident or letting them get on like a 3v2 to where there's a lot of passing back and forth going on. These guys are good. They're good goaltenders.
Yeah.
Like they are. You
So,
can argue about that all you want, but they're in the NHL and none of us are.
All right. So on to the next thing, because it's part of the show. I titled Zach Werenski is Awesome. And I really want to talk about, Zach Werenski last season. He had a really good season, just ridiculously good, the best season that he's ever had. And it was so good that he set a record for second most points ever in Blue Jackets history with 82, tying Artemi Panarin, who has both the first and the second spot in Blue Jackets history. So if you're doing that, that means you're pretty good.
Especially
Also,
as a defenseman.
As a defenseman. As a defenseman, that is good, because look, Zach Werenski, really good. He has really good offensive instincts, but he's a defenseman. Like, play defense. Defenseman, your job is play defense. That is what I'm expecting out of you. And if I get any other extra, offense out of you, whether it be a goal or an assist, to me, that's an extra added bonus. Okay. If I get that, then that's awesome. But defense, the defenseman, play defense. That's why you're there. And for a defenseman to be really good, not just on defense and offense, and get 82 points is really good. And just played so good that he earned himself a spot at the Four Nations hockey tournament. Played ridiculously good there. And then because he played so good there and had a good season all season long, he got picked to play in the World Hockey tournament, and he played good there. So like when you're looking at that, I'm thinking to myself, I think, this season, going into this season, yeah, he could have a season that like he just had. But to a certain extent, I don't necessarily think that's fair to him to say that to have a season like that, because that was a season where he played so good that just everything went right for him. And it's not realistic to expect something like that to happen again. However, though, generally speaking, it's not exactly the same, but he's playing a season pretty close to what he just had. Just, again, ridiculously good offensively, defensively. It just seems like just about every game, he's making a big play that helps the Blue Jackets in one way, shape, or form. A big defensive play, a block shot, he gets a goal, he gets an assist, he makes a big play to set up a goal. He's always just doing something. And it's just great to see that he is continuing that awesome play from last season, and he's just keep going. And the way he's playing right now, I would not be surprised if he's playing for Team USA in the upcoming Olympics in hockey this upcoming February. It's just been that good, and as good as last season was, which it was, it kind of looks like that he may be doing something maybe even better than what he did last season, which is ridiculously good and such a fun player to watch for the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, stellar guy for many, many years now too. I mean, he's currently pretty much on the same pace as last season. Last season was 83 points in 82 games. Right now he's sitting at 33 points in 32 games. So, you know, a tiny bit over a point per game player. Not to mention, as a defenseman, getting the most minutes of any player on the team. I think the goaltenders don't count.
Yeah.
Everyone hates it, but he's got the best plus minus. He's on the ice a lot. So that shows you that is, I mean, he's obviously defending well individually. You know, right behind him, Skrill, Marchenko, and they're out there on the ice a lot together. But yeah, +6. That's by far not the best in the NHL currently, but like I said, Werenski gets the most minutes, and when you're the more you're on the ice, the more chance you have of goals being scored against you, especially as a defenseman. So pretty proud to see that. Pretty happy to see that. I mean, some of the two other, I don't know if he counts. There's some of the rest of the team. There's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only like 8 guys with a positive plus minus. 3 guys with zeros. Wait, 2 guys. Always don't count. Sorry, I'm reading this on hockeyreference.com right now. So, yeah. Always the all-star. Always going to be an all-star. Love watching him play. Yeah, that's about all I got on Zach Werenski.
Okay, so on to the next thing we're going to be talking about, because you're talking about, hockey reference. Well, I basically have the hockey jersey version of that, NHL uniform database, and talking about different Blue Jackets jerseys and what is we're going to rank some of them and where do you view them? Are they good, bad, somewhere in the middle? So first off, we're going to do it this. I'm going to zoom in so we can see this better. I would say, I'm going to zoom in here. One more. Okay. So I'm talking about the original third jersey, which is what the reverse retro was based off of. So it's dark blue with red stripes and then white stripes, and then you got the old school looking laces, and you got black sleeves, and you got stars on it. One logo shoulder patch is the original logo, and the other is a Kepi logo. And I think, honestly, this is definitely one of the better Blue Jackets jerseys. It's not the best, but I'd say it's in the middle.
Yeah, it's almost it's hard to say that I don't like a jersey when Nash is on the back. It's like when I look at that jersey, the top one with the old logo, that's who I think of.
Yeah.
That's the number one guy that I'm always thinking about. The only criticism I really have is the original logo with the CBJ with the hockey stick in the middle. It's just what I don't like about it, for whatever reason, is is it stars on the inside of the C or dots, whatever those white dots are. Can't quite tell. That's my only criticism. I don't know why. Just don't like that part.
Yeah.
But the one with the black sleeves, I love that jersey.
Yeah.
That's one of my all-time favorites. I like the black on it, but I do think that having it blue is still an improvement.
Yeah.
It's because the dark Union blue against near the black is a little bit much. That's why I like when they did that one reverse retro. I like that they used the black with the light blue. That was nice.
Yeah.
But overall, I'll give the OG one up top. Give that one a good 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
The one with the black sleeves, I will give that one an 8 out of 10.
All right. So then, obviously, you got to talk about. Scroll down and
The away jersey.
like honestly, it's the logo sucks for me. That's why it's at the bottom of my list. That's what it is. If it's a different logo or it's a whole new ball game, but because the logo sucks, it's at the bottom of my list.
Yeah, it just seems like the new logo, even just the C, not the cannon. Well, that logo that they have there on the third jersey, it just feels much more Columbus, Ohio.
Yes.
Obviously, the Ohio flag's in there. That's not necessarily what I mean, but I feel like it encapsulates the vibe better. I will give the away version same thing. What was it, I guess 7.5 out of 10. 7.
Yeah.
I'm being a little biased, I guess, too.
Yeah. All right. So next up, we're gonna move on to what Reebok did because that was CCM back then. But so actually, we'll back this up here. So there is a slight difference in this. This one has the Kepi logo on it, and I really like that. And if you're watching the show, I'll quickly pull this off for a sec. If you watch the show, you notice I wear this Blue Jackets jersey a lot, where it's this and it's got the Kepi logo on it. I like it. It's one of my favorite Blue Jackets jerseys. And I also like the striping pattern that Reebok did with this compared to what Adidas did with it. And we're going to show what I mean by that later on in the show. But this is one of my favorite jerseys where it's the Reebok, it's the flag logo, and the Kepi. So that's one of my favorite jerseys that the Blue Jackets have. So that is definitely higher up on my list. I honestly like what the Reebok I like the, and we'll show the differences, but I like the Adidas version of the third jersey better. Cause I like what they did with the collar. It's a more light blue collar compared to what Reebok did. And again, I tend to like what Reebok did with the home and away compared to what Adidas did. I like the striping pattern and the collar and everything so much more. But then again, that's just me. So there's one with the Kepi. This is Reebok. Only difference is they changed it to the Canon logo starting in 2015. And to this day is the shoulder patch for the Blue Jackets is their Canon logo. Basically a red and white version of the third jersey logo. And I do like this too. I would probably, if I had to pick a favorite home jersey for the Blue Jackets, it would be the Reebok version with the Canon shoulder patch, followed by Reebok version of Kepi, and it's the same thing with the away. I'd go Reebok, Canon patch for away, and Reebok, Kepi logo. But that's just me. So Hefty Duck, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of the Kepi logo. That's probably one of my all-time favorites. I like that they introduced the new third this I like the third jersey a lot. It's one of my
Yeah.
all-time favorites. That's probably
Mm.
my favorite Blue Jackets jersey is the third, with the cream shoulder striping and light blue and silver.
Yeah.
One of my all-time favorites. I got a Cam Atkinson third jersey.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jersey up there, the top one, with like the regular home jersey. The only criticism I have of this one at all is that I like the rounded collar a little bit better.
Mm.
I mean, I don't hate this one. I
Yeah.
just like the other one better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this to me, 9 out of 10. The Blue Jackets third jersey is definitely a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
With the addition of the cannon patches
Yeah.
on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Or whatever the patches are on it. I forget what it is.
Well, so no, they started out with the cappy, and then starting in 2015, they changed it from cappy to shoulder
Oh,
pad.
I meant on the third jersey.
Oh, there is no the third jersey's never had a shoulder patch.
No?
They've never had it. Third
Oh.
jersey's never had a shoulder patch.
Oh,
See?
shit.
This is when they first started in 2010 with the third jersey, and it's never had a shoulder patch.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense because it's the cream color and it makes it look a little bit more smooth. I don't know what I was thinking was on it. Maybe I'm thinking of the reverse retro or something.
Reverse this the good reverse retro had the cappy on it.
Yeah, the black with the light blue.
Yeah, the good one. All right, so on to
I'll rate these real quick. 10 out of 10 away jersey then is I never really like away jerseys. I like the full color, so I'll give it 8.5 out of 10.
Okay, that's fair.
Just to be
all right.
bad.
So speaking of reverse retro, we're not even going to talk about the red one. God awful. We're not doing that. Rip off Capitals jersey. We're not doing that. And your name is the Blue Jacket. Your name is the Blue Jackets, named after the Union soldiers that wore blue jackets in the Civil War. Why are you having a red jersey? That's besides the point. When it comes to reverse retro, this is the good one because there's actual blue on it. It's believable that this could be a Blue Jackets jersey. I really do like, obviously, the main logo, the stars on the sleeve. You have the cappy logo as a shoulder patch. I really do like this.
I'm a huge fan of this jersey. It was such a better jersey than the red one that I don't even want to talk about.
No.
It's just dumb. But I think that they did well with this one too, because although that the light blue was not one of the original colors on the original home jersey, I liked the black.
Yeah.
Or this was third jersey.
Yeah.
Right. There's the OG third.
Yeah.
I like that they decided to go with the light blue.
Yeah.
Dark blue would have just been a little bit too monotone for me.
Yeah.
If I had to give this one a score, I will give this one a 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
With my third jersey being the pinnacle top of Blue Jackets jerseys.
And I remember when this this jersey first came out, and like I'm not so sure about this one. I didn't think very much of it. It's like, this is okay, but it won me over because every time the Blue Jackets, they wore that jersey for a certain amount of times at games during that season, and every time they wore it, it won me over. It won me over. It was good. And I was like, you know what? I have to get one of those. So in April of 2023, I was there for 2 games, and I saw one win against Pittsburgh, which is cool. Thank you, Johnny Gaudreau, for that overtime winner. And I went to the Blue Jackets store the first day I was in Columbus, and you know what? I got myself that reverse retro jersey because it was that good and it won me over. I wasn't going to get one, but every time I saw them wear it during the game, it's like, hey, man, that's a cool jersey. I'm going to get one. And that's exactly what I did. It won me over, and I got that jersey when I was in Columbus.
Hell yeah. Look, it looks really good out on the ice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Makes them look, it does kind of remind me of the, what's the big bad team from the Mighty Ducks?
Yeah. But
like they come out with the back uniforms, they're looking all tough and shit. Like, yeah absolutely.
But anyways, if you're talking about Blue Jackets jerseys, you cannot forget to talk about this jersey, which is basically become the most popular jersey among Blue Jacket fans and even the hockey world. People who are not Blue Jackets fans, but they still love it anyways, because I will watch videos of different hockey people on YouTube, or they just talk about hockey, or they collect hockey jerseys, and every single time when they're talking about the Blue Jackets, this is the jersey that gets the most popular reviews in a good way among the hockey world, Blue Jackets fans and non-Blue Jackets fans alike. And what jersey am I talking about? I'll tell you what jersey I'm talking about. The jersey that I am talking about is the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey. Honestly, it is truly that good, the best of the best. You know you have a good jersey when not only the fans of your team like it, which this is a very popular jersey among Blue Jackets fans, but you know it's extra good when the outside world loves your jersey. People who like hockey, but they don't pay attention to the Blue Jackets, and even they say, wow, that's a cool jersey. I like what the Blue Jackets did there. And the hockey guy, it got good reviews from the hockey guy. He loved it. Like he did a video where he showed him unboxing both the Detroit jersey and the Blue Jackets jersey. And for the Detroit jersey, he's like, this is, this is a good jersey. I like it. They did this and that, it's okay, whatever. And then he opens up the Blue Jackets jersey, and the dude just like, oh my God, this is so cool. I love this. This is an awesome jersey. I love that cannon. I love the sparkly silver. I love this. I love that. He was so excited and so enthusiastic about that jersey. And that's a common thing that I've seen many times from different people from all over the hockey world, that even if you don't like the Blue Jackets, you love this jersey. It is really that good. And what I love about it is that it really uses the Blue Jackets Civil War theme, because cannon, Civil War, and what the Blue Jackets shoot off when they, score a goal, win. So when they take the ice, when they used to take the ice, they don't do that anymore. And now it's, let's shoot it off before the game as a tradition. Have some person that used to, play for the Blue Jackets, or someone that is from Columbus, a big time celebrity or something, and we'll have him shoot off the cannon. But uses the cannon, the silver, the sparkly silver, based off of chevrons that the Union Army wore during the Civil War. And then the shoulder patch, it's hockey sticks with CBJ, but then there's a belt buckle on it, and the belt buckle is based off of the kepi that the Union soldiers wore. So this is just a great jersey that the Blue Jackets did, and it's loved by not Blue Jackets fans and non-Blue Jackets fans alike. The hockey world loves this jersey, and I have two of these. I just got a blank plain one, and then I remember last season the Blue Jackets are playing the Sabres, and I'm sitting there thinking, like, man, I got to get another one of those jerseys. I'm going to get an Adam Fantilli one. And that's what I did, because I was in Columbus the next day, and I got myself an Adam Fantilli outdoor game jersey. It's just that good. Nicely done, Blue Jackets.
Yeah, this is the other Blue Jackets jersey that is a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yep.
There's not much that I don't have issue with anything in here, like, at all. In fact, I'm a really big fan of the chevrons and the actual, like, silver, like shiny silver, of the waistband and the around the elbows there. Huge fan of that. I like a lot of things about this. One thing is that there is a lot going on, yet it maintains. It's still simple. Like, when you boiled it down, if you have no numbers or captain's patches or the 13 Johnny Gaudreau patch, it is a cannon on the front of a otherwise fairly, like, plain background. But the striping adds to it. Then, of course, the numbers are gonna busy up a little bit. But it's not. It's just so. I don't know. There's, like, as a designer, as a artist, there's nothing here I would really change, and that I think I could do better. It's very well done. Yeah, well thought out. I like that it incorporates. It feels like it was, like, really deeply thought about.
Yep.
Trying to tie in something to the Union soldiers.
Yep.
And so, I like that about it too, because obviously, the cannon is a lot more Civil War themed than just a C and a star, or a C and a B and a hockey stick.
Yes.
So I love that it ties into it, but not just with the logo. Just the addition of the chevrons on the side is it's subtle, yet very well thought out. I just think that they put a lot of thought into it, and it paid off.
Right.
10 out of
So
10.
the reason why, and I got this to go with this, is so, of course, the two big outdoor games this year are going to be down in Florida. Rangers playing the Panthers, down in Miami where the Marlins play, and then Boston Bruins are playing the Tampa Bay Lightning down in Tampa Bay at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Stadium. And both jerseys for that game have been revealed. And it's hit and miss. I look at both of those jerseys from both those games, and there's things I like about it. And then there's things I look at and go, oh, God, no, that is so God awful. Just so terrible. Like, oh, that's bad. That's bad. You're doing these teams dirty, not good. And then it just got me thinking that, as I said so here on Union Blue Soldiers Twitter page, I am thankful that the Blue Jackets got an awesome awesome jersey for their outdoor game, because some of these jerseys that other teams are getting are not good. Yikes.
Yikes is right. Look at this shit. What?
This is what I mean. When I look at that, there's stuff I legitimately like about both jerseys. I do. Like, for example, I like the shade of yellow that the Bruins are using. I really like that bear logo that they're using. That to me says outdoor game. Like, there's certain things that say outdoor game. That bear logo says outdoor game. And outdoor games, generally speaking, kind of have a more kind of old school looking vibe. And that logo right there says old school looking vibe. That is definitely believable. So I like that. And I like the yellow, and everything else is like, is okay. The Lightning. What I like about the Lightning is that if you look inside the letters and the numbers, there's lightning bolts, and I like that.
Ooh, I did not notice that till just now.
And I like that because you're named the Lightning. So lightning bolts in the name, the numbers, and the name where it says TBL, Tampa Bay Lightning. I like that. And And then the shoulder patch is cool. It's a skull. It's like a pirate skull and like swords. And there's like a lightning bolt on it. And it says Tampa Bay Lightning. And that's cool. And then, so like, there's this thing called Gasparilla down in Tampa Bay. Real big pirate culture down there. It's really big down there. So like, there's like a little nod to that. You're a little nod to Tampa Bay culture. So I like that. Where I nitpick this is that, like, I like the light blue, but it, like, the blue that the Lightning use, it's kind of similar to what the Toronto Maple Leafs use, which is kind of like, you know, a lighter shade of blue, closer to like a royal blue, kind of like a blue like what the Chicago Cubs use. And when you use that type of blue, yeah, like a lighter blue, it's kind of hard to see. For me personally, admittedly, I am not some designer, some artist like Hefty Duck is, because like Hefty Duck can talk about this stuff better than I can. So, but even if we put that off to the side, and my untrained, unprofessional eye, when I look at this, I think that the light blue does not work as well on that shade of blue. If you wanted to use a light blue, you should do what the Blue Jackets do and have a darker shade of blue so that the light blue can help stand out more color contrast. Because in my opinion, I just don't think that light blue works as well on that shade of blue.
Yeah, my opinion, like it needs to be darker, like the Union Blue. I mean, I'm sure they're trying to avoid the comparison to that a little bit. So the Boston Bruins jersey feels like a college jersey to me, which I like, because it does feel old school to me too, but it feels almost like 80s, early 90s old school, as opposed to like the way throwbacks to like the 70s, 60s, whatever.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to pick about with the logo and with the jersey is I wish that the Boston was separated from the bear on the patch. I get that maybe they wanted to do just one big patch, so they didn't have to do like multiple, like 2 different ones or something like that. But I wish there was a bit of a gap, so like the curvature of the Boston lettering was like maybe like an inch above the bear.
Yeah.
The other thing, I don't particularly like the white on the sleeves.
Yeah.
The white around the collar, I don't think about, but the white on the sleeves, I mean, but that's part of what makes me think of a bit more of like a 90s kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay's, that light blue either needs to be lighter or the blue needs to be darker. What I feel like they missed a cool opportunity for was I do like that there's lightning bolts in the lettering. That's sick.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, for audio listeners, it's almost like, I mean, in a way, it almost just looks like water reflections too. It would have been cool if they made a font out of lightning bolts, because you could totally do that with those letters. B would be a little bit hard, but it's doable. And I just think it would be kind of sick. But yeah, if I mean, the Blue Jackets Stadium Series jersey absolutely blows the 21.
Yeah.
No questions asked. No possible way that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate them, but I'm curious to see how it's going to look when they're out on the ice together. I like that they're doing the full color for both of them. And Boston is lighter. I don't know. This is going to be
February.
So, and it's going to be in Tampa.
Yep.
What the hell, Florida? Why do you get an outdoor game?
Well, so here's the thing.
How are they going to do that?
Well, I've often had that thought too, because Florida's always hot. It's like, how are you going to do that? But at the same time, you can't go do hockey game. You've done multiple outdoor hockey games out in California, which is also really hot, and they found a way to get it done, and it worked out well. It was cool. You can't have games in California where it's really hot and then turn around and say, no, you can't have it in Florida. The cat's already out of the bag. There's no way coming back from that. So you figured something like this was eventually going to happen. And the thing is with hockey, in more recent years, their big thing is, we got to grow the game. We got to do this. We got to do that, which is understandable. I get that. So growing the game, I'd say a good way to do that is thinking outside of the box and having 2 outdoor games in Florida, even though that does not sound exactly smart. But you know what? The thing is that the NHL has gotten so good at doing these outdoor games that it gets to the point that they know how to do it, to the point to where it's like, oh, the rink should look like this and the glass should look like this, and the goal should be here, and like the ice should be at this temperature at this time, and if it's too warm, we'll bring it down, put a little water on it. If it's too cold, we'll do this to it. Like, they've just become so good at it. Even this past season with the Blue Jackets outdoor game, seeing videos about how they did it, it was just awesome and just truly amazing how it's like, oh, we did this, this, and this, and this. And like, before they even put like the actual like hockey rink on it, they put, I want to say it was at least 3-4 levels of like padding and like tarps and a whole bunch of other stuff on the field before they even put like the rink on top of that to give it a little extra cushion. So like, all that stuff doesn't like leak onto the field. So like they've gone, and then like they had this truck that was like right outside the shoe. That was like right there that they could, press a button or turn a switch or turn off a switch that could control how much ice goes from the truck to the rink. And then it could help with like the temperature, and like, if it's too hot, do this, too cold, do this, and all of this sort of stuff. So yes, I do, some a little like criticism. Like, I'm not so sure how that's going to work down in Florida. I could see how it could work because they've gotten so good at it, just knowing how to do it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're gonna have. I know they're gonna work some magic. And honestly, February is probably the coldest month in Florida. I think, and they're doing it in the evening. I'm sure it's not gonna be the sun beating down on it, because that did. I mean, shit, that can happen anywhere. That happened in Cleveland when the
Monsters.
The Monsters played their outdoor game.
It was both for them. It was for the Monsters, but then the day later, Ohio State played there too against Michigan.
And yeah, I'm not surprised they have like a giant, I'm assuming like a refrigeration truck or something like that. Like, that's pretty cool. So good luck, Florida. I mean, I can't wait I'm gonna watch it. I can't wait to watch
Hell
it.
yeah.
For it. Like, can't knock it too much. I'm curious how that's really gonna work. But
yeah.
I live down there, and honestly, like, as long as you're really like, because think about how warm inside of a arena is once you get all the people in there and everything too. I mean, they really got like it can get chilly, and there was at times sweatshirt weather in Florida. You can't bank on that, but
no,
definitely. I mean, the people who lived down there were definitely in coats and sweatshirts. I'm from Ohio, so I was just fine.
No, that's another thing. Of all the years I've been going down to Florida too, and it's like you can tell who lives down there and who's not, because it's like when it's like 60 down there, it's really not that bad. But the people down there, it's like, oh my God, you think it was like negative 20 out and like, 10 inches, 20 inches. Yeah, you think it's like negative 20 out there because people are like, oh my God, they're wearing like long sleeve shirts and a jacket and a sweatshirt and all this other stuff. And I'm like, dude, it's 60 degrees out. It's not that bad. Like, come on now. Like, come on. That's the one thing I always say is that, you know what? I know that there's some reasons people like living down in Florida, and I get it to a certain extent. Not for me, a little too hot. I can't do that. That's just no. But even if you put that off to the side, I can see why people do it. But if you live there all the time, that makes you soft. I'm just sorry, because from a weather perspective, you become soft that you just don't know how to handle, cooler weather anymore. That when it does come, you look goofy, you look weird. I'm sorry. That's just, it is what it is. If you live where most people do in America, where they get the spring, the summer, the fall, the winter, all 4 seasons, in my opinion, you're much better that way because you're prepared for everything and you're not such a wimp when it comes to one way or the other. But that's besides the point. I'm going on a little rant there. Anyways, on to the next thing that I would like to be talking about, which is this. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Mascots are better when they're playing hockey. And here we have a bunch of different Big Ten schools that have a mascot hockey logo. And I just love it. These are just so cool. Like, you got Notre Dame, who, yes, Notre Dame is Big Ten for hockey. They're not Big Ten for anything else, which you're weird and goofy for that, but whatever.
So weird.
But whatever. But Notre Dame is Big Ten for hockey. So they have a cool Fighting Irish hockey logo, which I love. Then, of course, Wisconsin, they got a Badger logo playing hockey, and I love that. Michigan State, they're the Spartans, and they got a cool Spartan logo, and he's playing hockey. Of course, my favorite Big Ten logo that's not Ohio State, it's the Minnesota Golden Gophers, who have a gopher playing hockey. And I just love it because it's silly, it's goofy, it's fun, it's a cartoon gopher, and he's playing hockey, and I just love it. And of course, Ohio State, they have their mascot, Brutus. They have a logo where it's Brutus playing hockey, and I just love it. And Ohio State, listen to me. This is your new main logo for hockey. I don't care about any other logo that you have for hockey. This, in my opinion, is your new main logo for hockey. You need to be using this as your main logo for hockey because it's just awesome of Brutus playing hockey, and I love it. So overall, I'm going to be honest. If you have a mascot logo and he's playing hockey, I'm going to think much more highly of you because it just makes your logos that much cooler.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, I love the Ohio State logo. I wish that Brutus had a different jersey on.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I wish he had like the red one or something.
But yeah.
But huge fan of a Golden Gopher logo.
That's
It looks out of all of these, it looks like the most natural too.
Yes.
Because like proportionally, I mean, obviously it's an anthropomorphic animal, whatever. Like it's personified like a human. But yeah, it looks like it was drawn to hold the stick, like not like the Fighting Irish. They just threw a stick in. I like that logo. I think it's cool. But
yeah,
they just threw a stick in there. That's all they had to do.
Yeah.
Same with Wisconsin. The Spartans. Okay, why do every single Spartan logo have a big head?
That's their thing.
It throws me off a little bit. Because like Brutus should have a bigger head.
Yeah.
I think that's what's throwing me off a little bit about that. And then the Spartans should just have it a little bit smaller. Like give a little bit of that over there to Brutus. Yeah. But yeah, big fan. I love goofy ass logos. I love goofy ass mascots with hockey sticks.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like, you tell me pick your favorite logo that's not Ohio State, and like you, Hefty Duck, I'm going with the Gophers. I just love it. It's just a fun, silly, cartoon gopher looking logo that's playing hockey, and I love it because it's like he's got gloves, he's got hockey stick, he's got the puck, he's got skates, he's got a hockey jersey, and I just like Brutus does. And I just love it. It's just fun. It's just funny, and it's goofy, and it's silly, and I love it. So if I had to pick my favorite logo that's not Ohio State from a Big Ten school, it's got to be the Gophers because I just love it. I just love this Gopher logo.
Gotta be.
And another thing I'm going to say is this is like I tried looking because for hockey, the Big Ten schools in hockey are Ohio State, Michigan State, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Penn State, and Michigan. I tried looking. Michigan and Penn State do not have mascot logos playing hockey. And, I'm going to be honest, that disappoints me. Like, come on now, guys. Come on, Michigan. Come on, Penn State. Let's get with the program here. I'm calling you out, Michigan. I'm calling you out, Penn State. Let's get with the program here, and let's be like your other fellow Big Ten schools and get yourself a mascot logo playing hockey. Like, I want to see a Michigan logo where it's a Wolverine playing hockey. For Penn State, they're the Nittany Lions, so I want to see a Nittany Lion logo where he's playing hockey. I want to see that to go with all your other fellow Big Ten schools that have a hockey logo where it's their mascot playing hockey.
It'd be cool to see. I'm not even a Penn State fan, but I'd like a Nittany Lion with a hockey stick.
That's right. That's right. So next up, color rush. It's happened a lot over the years in football. Sometimes you see it in baseball too. The team will be blue versus red, I've seen like blue versus purple when like teams play the Rockies, and like the Rockies always wear that cool purple jersey that I like, and so many other color rush matchups. It's happened a lot in football too. That's really kind of where it kind of got real big and popular, is that years ago football would do these color rush matchups and they looked awesome. And now it's really starting to pop up in hockey. So it started out this season when you had Detroit playing in New York to play the Rangers, and Detroit wore red and the Rangers wore blue. And then not that long ago, you had the Rangers playing the Blackhawks, where the Rangers wore blue and the Blackhawks wore red. And now it's come out that the NHL is encouraging teams to do more color rush. Find a game in your schedule that you want to do it, talk to the team, and see if you can get it done. And I like that, because you know what? That's a fun way to wear different jerseys, and it helps you stand out, get more attention. Look, we got these good competitive games between these good teams, and they're fun because, color rush, it's a blue versus red and whatever. Also, during the 2020-2021 season, the Blue Jackets did a color rush. The Blue Jackets wore blue and Nashville wore yellow, and it was awesome. Ohio State has played Michigan in hockey. Ohio State wore red, Michigan wore yellow. Minnesota played Penn State, and the Gophers wore yellow. Penn State wore blue. Michigan versus Michigan State in hockey, where Michigan wore yellow, Michigan State wore green. And obviously we've already covered this, but the upcoming outdoor game down in Tampa Bay this upcoming February, Tampa Bay will wear blue and Boston will wear yellow. And Jason Newland, friend of the show, who's been on our show, writer for the Hockey News, he's often talked about this, about how he wants more color rush, and he's getting his wish. So great to see that there's more color rush coming in hockey, because I like it. It's fun. Keep doing that.
Pretty dope. I'm excited for it. I'm a big fan too.
So
I've never liked lighter colored jerseys, just for whatever reason. Although I guess there was in high school, my white jersey, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. But see, this is what I mean. This is from the 2020-2021 season, when the Blue Jackets played Nashville, and the Blue Jackets wore blue and Nashville wore yellow, and it was awesome.
Yeah, why not? I mean, especially if like one team has a much lighter color than the other. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Especially against Nashville. I'm trying to think of who else would be a good matchup for that.
We need blue versus red, so.
Oh, that would be cool. Either the Devils or the Red Wings.
Blackhawks, Detroit.
Yeah. That'd be
Detroit.
cool. The Kings. Nah, you can't. It's too dark. You'd have to have one team with a lighter jersey against the Kings. I
You did,
mean, the Sharks would probably be okay, right? There's like a teal kind
yeah.
of color.
So the
Like a dark blue.
stars, the stars
Stars.
with the green, they could
Yeah.
work,
I think the Kraken wouldn't. They have a dark jersey.
Yeah, no, they can't. They
The
can't.
Panthers would be fine.
Yep.
Tampa Bay, I just wouldn't with Tampa Bay. Yeah.
No. Because what would happen with that? Because back when the Cubs played the Indians in the World Series, it was an okay jersey matchup, but it kind of clashed because like the Indians had like that darker shade of blue, and like the Cubs had like that lighter shade of blue, and it was okay, but it kind of clashed. So nah. So like I'm thinking it would be like Blue Jackets versus Detroit, the Blackhawks, or the Devils, or Carolina, or the Panthers, or the Stars, or Nashville again, like they did here in this picture. The Sharks could work. The Flyers or the Ducks, because they both were orange. That could work. Like there's options that, Montreal, they were red, the Senators. Like there's options that you could, Calgary, red. So like there's options that you could do with this.
Yeah, I just was thinking the Canes would probably be fine.
Yeah.
Boston would probably be fine.
Not with the Blue Jackets, though.
Just a handful of them that are like darker home jerseys that would be a little bit closer. I think the color pants can make a difference here too. Obviously, here the Blue Jackets are wearing their red pants as opposed to their dark blue pants.
Yeah.
I think that would look cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see some more of this shit.
That's right. All right. So let's see here. Next up, we got some art to share. So this is from at MRZLIKINS on Twitter. And two things that this person did. Kind of like a little drawing of Elvis Merzlikins. So, Hefty Duck, you're the artist. Your thoughts here?
Nah, pretty solid. Pretty solid. I'd love to see a little background, but overall, I mean, everything here is pretty on point. I mean, I know who it is, so I immediately recognize them. And that, for me, when I look at portraits that are like hand drawn, that's usually my first judgment. But hell yeah, pretty dope.
Next up, she also did a Matthew Olivier drawing in the style of the Blue Jackets outdoor game jersey.
That's cool. That one's really hard to tell. It's painting. So you look real close. You can kind of see it more in his face there.
Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just noticed the ventilation at the front of the helmets.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it looks to be. Yeah, pretty nice.
All right, so there's that. So last couple things here before we get out of here. So I have an ultimate idea for a Blue Jackets jersey, which is you basically take what you did with the outdoor game jersey, and they did a good job with the Blue Jacket Civil War theme, but you do that even more. You'd have a cannon logo on the front, whether that be a third jersey cannon logo or the outdoor game cannon logo. You would have the chevrons on it like the outdoor game logo. I would have a shoulder patch where we'll just use the Cappy as an example, where it's like a circle logo, and like in the middle of the logo is a Union soldier. And then you'd say like Columbus Blue Jackets around it. Really put that Civil War theme home. And then find other Civil War related things that you could put on that. make it look like the Union Army uniform that the Union soldiers wore. Like, you could really have some fun with that. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here is that my ultimate Blue Jackets jersey idea is that you'd have a blue jersey, and you could make this away too if you wanted. But the jersey is just basically you really have fun with the Blue Jackets Civil War theme with, cannon logo and the chevrons, and have like a Union soldier logo as the shoulder patch, and find any other nooks and crannies and other cool Civil War related stuff. You stick it on the jersey and you make it look like a Union soldier, just like what he wore during the Civil War, like a Union Army uniform.
Yeah, that would be pretty all right.
So that's that. Anything else to say there, Hefty Doc?
Oh, I do not.
Okay then. So last couple things here. Caden Lindstrom shared some cool pictures on his Instagram. Of course, Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom recently posted some pictures from different games he's played at Michigan State. So we're gonna, share those pictures. So there's Caden Lindstrom right there playing for Michigan State. So that's cool. And we also got, there he is, after a win. There he is hugging his goalie. That's cool. There he is. Some sort of hand gesture after the game.
It's a W.
W. Okay. Very nice. There he is celebrating a goal.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, there it looks like he's hanging out with some of his friends at Michigan State, so that's cool.
Wait, who is that guy? He's so familiar. The guy with the light jacket there.
Let's see.
Look up.
Gavin O'Connell.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know who that is, but no.
I remember. It's probably literally just from like looking at the Michigan State hockey team so much because of Caden Lindstrom.
Yeah. Well, if Hartsey was here, he would say something about Porter Motone, who's a Flyers prospect.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, just some cool pictures that Blue Jackets prospect Caden Lindstrom has posted. So there's that. Last couple things, we got some videos here to share recently. Of course, I wanted to show this a couple weeks ago, but then I kind of forgot. So around Thanksgiving, Erica Branson had some of the Blue Jackets players over for Thanksgiving. So we'll play that video. So you can see, look.
I'll be right back in just like 1 minute.
Okay. So we got Adam Fantilli right there. I think that's Matthew Olivier. And I think that's Damon Severson over there. Go. Of course, Blue Jackets players eating, Thanksgiving. We got Luca Pinelli and Ivan Provorov. We got Matthew Olivier, Elvis Mertz-Leakins. I think that's Damon Severson over there. And that's cool. Cool little video there.
That's cool that they have like mini bouncy castles for
little
kids nowadays. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, but look, we got Adam Fantilli, Matthew Olivier, and I think that's Damon Severson over there. So,
Hell yeah. Pretty cool.
And then let's see here. We got mini Bonds Castle. That can't look cool. Let's see here. Thanksgiving dinner. We have Elvis Merzlikins, Luca Pinelli, Ivan Provorov, Matthew Olivier, and I think that's Damon Severson. So
Nice.
that's cool. Then next, then we got one more video. So let's see here. Of course, we'll set this up. So every year the Blue Jackets do like a little fun event in the community where they help out someone in the community, usually involving some sort of local business / charity. And this year they went to the Habitat for Humanity Mid-Ohio and having a little fun there. They built some chairs, painted some walls, arranged some furniture and some carpets and a whole bunch of other stuff that helps out people in the, community who need that sort of thing. But in the end, there was a little fun little hockey game, and we'll play that video. Of course, there we go. We got Jake Christensen with Damon Severson, putting some boxes away. Here we got Jack Greaves with Matthew Olivier, putting some sort of furniture together. Got Zach Werensky, Adam Fantilli, and what was it? Damon Severson. I think we got Dmitry Voronkov. I think that's Jet Greaves, I think. And obviously, this is from Kirill Marchenko's point of view. Let's see, you got Yegor Chinikov painting a wall, and not exactly sure who's painting the other wall, but, blue paint. That's cool. So that's cool. We'll play this one more time. A little game of hockey in shopping carts. So that's cool. Anything to say about this hefty duck?
No, I do not.
Fair enough. So we'll let this play. I'll check my bookmarks to see if there's anything else to talk about. Otherwise, we'll say our stuff and, get out of here. So let's, I think we are good to go. One more last time, checking the bookmarks. Yeah. Yep. All right. So we're good to go here. So yeah. All right. So that check the bookmarks and we're good to go. So we'll put stop to this. We'll take it off the screen. Oh, got a comment here. Hey guys, sorry I'm late to the show tonight. I'm still working, but I just wanted to let you know I appreciate your positivity for the Jackets. Way too many haters out there. Go Jackets, go. Thank you, Christopher, for your kind words. Thank you for the comment. I appreciate that, because you know why? I'm never going to be that guy that is going to be 100% positive or 100% negative. I'm just never going to be that guy. There's some people that are like that, where it's always negativity and it's like the worst thing in the world and you can't do any right. And on the flip side of that, there's always people that are like 100% positivity. Everything's fine. No one can do any wrong. There's nothing wrong. Like, I'm never going to be that. And in my opinion, I'm seeing a little bit too much of that. In particular, a lot too much negativity. Like, I understand that the Blue Jackets are not playing very good right now. I understand that. I get that. I do not like that at all. I wish that the Blue Jackets were playing better. However, though, I'm not going to be that guy that's just going to be like, oh my God, they suck, they this or that, and blah, 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 and always just be negative and just call out everything. Because that gets you nowhere. Because if you're just going to live where everything is always positive or always negative, that's lame and it gets you nowhere. You're not really living a life at that point, because life is nuance. There's nuance in life. Sometimes it's going to be bad. Sometimes it's going to be good. Sometimes there can be a little bit in the middle where it's a little bad, a little good. And that's something that I try my best to believe in. And when I watch a game, the Blue Jackets or some other thing, I'm not just going to be that guy that just totally 100% positive or 100% negative, because the games that Hefty Duck and I have talked about over the years doing this show, there could be games where the Blue Jackets were god awful, but there was still like that one or two things that we liked. For example, they could get smoked like 6-1, but that one goal, I like that. You scored a goal. That's good. We'll call that and say, hey, you scored a goal there. Good job. Or you had a good shift. There's other good things you did in that game. And then we'll also say that, hey, that game was like a 2 out of 10. Awful because this, and this, and this. But it's 2 out of 10 because there were some good things in there. And on the flip side of that, the Blue Jackets, they could have a good game where they could just smoke that ass 7-1. And we'll say 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. Why? Because you know what? For a good chunk of that game, they played a good game. You scored 7 goals. You played a real good game. You did this. You did that. You played real good. But, you gave up a goal there. You did this. You did that. Not very good. That's why, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I'm always going to be that guy that's going to give you a little bit of both. A little give and a little take. Because when you watch a game, there's always going to be something bad. Generally speaking, there's always going to be something bad, and there's always going to be something good. And last night I saw some comments were like, I don't want to hear them say that they played a good game and all this other stuff. They've lost 5 in a row and da-da-da-da-da and all this other stuff. Okay, I understand your frustration, but if you watched the game last night, it would be accurate to say that, yes, they played, for the most part, they played a good game. But it's also right to say, no, they played a good game, but you know what? There's some moments that they weren't very good and they need to be better, and it costs them. It's a little bit of both. That just this consistent negativity gets you nowhere. And my opinion, if you want to get nice and big and popular on social media, whether that be Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or you got a show on YouTube or whatnot, the easiest way to get you all sorts of attention is just be totally negative all the time, even if it's not true. Just be negative, because that gets more attention than, a more balanced approach, what Hefty Duck and I do, which is we say this was bad, this was good, and a little more balanced approach. So I know I'm kind of going on a little rant here, but thank you for your comment, Christopher. Thank you for watching the show. Because it's never as good as people make it out to be, and it's never as bad as people make it out to be. It's somewhere in the middle. So thank you for your comment, Christopher, and just know that there's gonna be a little give and a little take. I'm never gonna, and probably Hefty Duck to a certain extent. He can talk about this if he wants to, but I'm never gonna be that guy that's gonna be totally positive or negative. There's always somewhere in the middle. It's not bad. It's not good. So, Hefty Duck, you got anything to say about this?
Oh no, I just I appreciate the comments from Christopher over here. He just has another comment here. I agree with what you're saying, but you guys don't shit on them constantly. The season is far from over. I'm not going to jump off the ship just yet. It could like the Reds or Bengals.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at there with that comment. Could be like the Reds or the Bengals, but the Reds just came off the season where they made the playoffs. So let's settle down there with the Reds. But I understand what you're getting at with the Bengals, though, because I do like the Bengals too. And unfortunately, for the most part, it's been a god-awful season for the Bengals. There have been some good moments there, mostly thanks to like Joe Burrow and like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and like their offense is good because they can score like crazy. So like, their defense is kind of dog crap for the most part. Some good moments there, but so you could say about the Bengals, where 9 times out of 10 it's been god awful for the Bengals with a little moment here and there where it looks good. So, and then even if I did a show about like the Bengals, I would be doing the same exact thing. I'd be like, you know what? For the most part, it's terrible, but there's some good stuff that I like about it. Here's why, this and this. And I always view that about any game I watch in all my sports teams that I like. I'm always going to be that guy that says, you know what, that was terrible, do better, but here's the good stuff that we do. And I don't believe in consistently shitting on someone, because there's always going to be something, for the most part, there's always going to be something that there's good that you can say, I don't like this, but I like this. There's some good stuff there. And in my opinion, that's how it should be. But that's besides the point. For some people, they just want to be totally negative and say, oh my God, it's like the worst thing ever, and they suck, and that's this or that. And, to these people, if you point out, there was some good things about that game, and they freak out on you, and they don't know, you can't say that. And, I want changes. It has to be better, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And I agree with a certain extent, but like, just saying changes just to change, it's not going to do anything. But that's besides the point. You need a little positivity. It's a little bit of negative, a little bit of positive. It's a little bit of both. And if you're letting sports control your life so bad to the point that it's so negatively affecting you in a way, and you just need to settle down and take a step back and realize that, I understand it, but sometimes you just need to settle down. It's because it's a little bit of, don't get too high with positivity. Don't get too low with negativity. It's somewhere in the middle, because sports, it's fun. It's entertainment. I'm along for the ride, hoping for more fun times than bad times, but that's just how it is. You take the bad with the good, and you have fun with it. And I try my best to have that. You need a little bit of both. You need negativity, you need positivity. It's not always negative. So hang on. Another comment. We'll take it off the screen. The Reds and Bengals make me pull my hair out because the ownership blow. Merry Christmas, guys. Yeah, that's the unfortunate reality. The Reds and Bengals do have some very questionable ownership. It's, not good. But you know what? To the Reds and Bengals credit, they still have had some success, and they're doing the best they can with it. But you know what? It is what it is. You wish it was better, but you know what? You just have to play with the cards you made. And, there are times where the Reds and Bengals, they've done the best they can with that ownership structure, and they've had some good seasons with it. So it is what it is. You just accept it for what it is. But Thanks for the comments, Christopher. Houday and Go Reds and CBJ. Anyways, Rink Caddick says we should trade KJ. He does not fit the way we play anymore. Well, different topic for a different discussion. I say that we shouldn't just trade him just because. Oh God, Harry! Oh no, his device is not connected. Oh no, Harry! I'll let you on, man. I was about to end the show, but you know what, Harry? I'll give you like an extra 10, 20 minutes or something if your device connects. If your device connects. Harry, let's go! Welcome to the show, Harry.
First of all, can I say I can't believe you're still on here 2.5 hours later.
Well,
I happened to click back on and you're still on. I'm like, oh my goodness. I thought you guys wrap this thing up usually about 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
usually, and then we get comments that I talk about. But you know what?
You have comments. I apologize.
That we talk about. But so we were going to end the show. But you know what, Harry? You came on. We'll give you at least an extra 20, 30 minutes.
I guess I'll come in, say hey. Things haven't been looking so good for the Blue Jackets lately. Hopefully they can turn that around as we head into the holiday season.
Yeah.
Little interested in this New Year's Eve situation. I don't know if you've touched on that with the Blue Jackets pretty much going up right against the college football playoff game that the Ohio State Buckeyes will be involved in. I know in the past they've changed game times. I don't know if that's the case this time. Nope. Okay. Just was kind of trying to get a read on that. I will be at the Blue Jacket game, but I won't lie, my head will probably be in my phone a lot during that game as well.
That's fair. No.
But yeah, I figure I'd just check in and say, hey.
Yeah. So
like I said, 9:30, I was just kind of getting back on X. I'm like, well, Kevin and Lance are still going, so I think I'll jump in. I saw a little bit about the uniforms, the jerseys, the sweaters. What is your opinion, Kevin, on that? Is it a jersey or is it a sweater? I've heard people refer to them as sweaters.
I think it really comes down to how the jersey looks. If your jersey kind of has that more old school looking classic look, and it's got the strings right here,
right,
and that old school kind of looking logo, then you can say sweater. But if it's just like what this is, that's jersey.
It's a jersey. Okay.
So for example, the Blue Jackets. So for example, like the Blue Jackets third jersey, to me that's a sweater because it's got that old school looking look. It's got the little tie strings here. That Canon logo is kind of an old school looking logo sweater. Sweater. This is more of a jersey.
Gotcha.
Montreal, you look at their home jersey. It's red and kind of old school look sweater. Right. There's a whole, Blackhawks. That's more of a sweater sort of thing. There's teams that kind of have a more sweater look, and then there's teams that are kind of a more jersey look. It just so happens that the Blue Jackets, they have a little bit of both. They have a jersey look and they have more of a kind of a sweater look. I would say that their outdoor game jersey, that's more of a kind of an old school looking sweater look because it fits that kind of outdoor looking jersey.
I mean, I've just always heard people refer to hockey jerseys as sweaters. I didn't know. You are the expert, so I figured I'd turn to you and your clarification.
So I know the Blue Jackets, we've talked about the shows. It's not very good. There has been some good moments there, but what has been some stuff that you have liked about the Blue Jackets this season, Harry?
Well, I do think they are, for the most part, they're fighting. They're in most games. Though I get tired of that, though. I gotta admit, I mean, lifelong fan. I hate, moral victories, good effort, those terms. I want some wins. I want some.
That's fair.
I want wins. I want sustained success. I want some playoff appearances. I know John Butchergrass was talking them up about a month ago. Now I'm kind of I'm not so sure. I don't know. I don't know if this is a playoff team now. Hopefully they can right the ship. I know Evanson's getting some heat on social media. I've been seeing that. I'm not so sure that's warranted.
No.
I will say one thing, Jet Greaves is the starter.
Yep.
There's no doubt about that. I really don't want to get into a pile on Elvis thing, but
No.
he's just not the guy. He's not the guy. I think ever since he snapped his stick after the Islanders game, that was the sign. That was the beginning of the decline, and pretty much the sign that, hey, you're not the top guy. You're not A1. You're the second guy.
Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, I imagine Elvis is with this team for the rest of the season. I really can't see any big change. But next year, I don't see Elvis Merzlikins on this squad.
No.
I just can't see it.
No,
But hopefully they can right the ship, give us some hope. I know this stretch here recently hasn't been so good. I will say one thing, based on my current streaming / TV situation, I've been watching and listening to a lot of away broadcasts, like the Senators game.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet.
We got a good crew here with
Yep.
Mears and Shelley.
Yeah,
and we should be very thankful for that, because there are a lot of other crews across the NHL that are just not as good. And I think they're doing a good job with kind of a skeleton crew. It also seems like, for whatever reason, our crew, the FanDuel crew, is a little bit light compared to some of the other teams' crews. And I imagine it's just a budget thing.
They keep taking away Jody Shelley for the national broadcast, though.
Well, he's doing the
Amazon.
I guess he's doing the Amazon Canadian broadcast.
Yeah.
I spoke to Jody maybe a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I said that to him. I said, you do such a good job. I'm afraid we're going to lose you, to a national broadcast.
Yeah.
He kind of made it known he's not really looking for that. I think he likes being here in Columbus. He likes being on the Blue Jacket and broadcast team.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's dabbled his toe with the Amazon thing, but I've seen people say that. Well, hope we don't lose him. I don't think we are. I think he likes it here.
Yeah.
He likes being a part of this organization. So
yeah.
But yeah, we have a good crew. Let me just leave it. Bottom line, we have a good announcing crew. Hopefully, they don't keep taking people away, though. I know Giesenslaw does not go on the road anymore.
No.
They must have lost their studio. They don't have a studio anymore.
Yeah.
So apparently, they're sending Metzold on the road.
Yeah.
Kind of fill the Giesenslaw role. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I
for whatever that's worth. There you go.
Yeah.
We got
Harry. I did see your tweet calling out the Senators broadcast for complaining about the cannon.
But that gets tired too. And like I said, I've been, based on how I'm watching the games lately, been hearing a lot of the opposing teams, and that whole cannon thing gets really old after a while. We're tired of hearing the cannon. Oh, we got scared when they shot it off. Okay, we've been around 25 years. You should be used to the cannon,
right? Yeah.
When you come into Columbus, I think you should be used to knowing, you should have knowledge there is a cannon in the arena. So after a while, that gets a little old.
No, I agree with that there, Harry. It's like, why are you've been coming to game, you're an opposing team, whether it be the team or the media.
It's kind of a lame stick.
Yeah. You've been coming.
It's kind of a way to take a little dig
at
us too. I see where they're coming from, but I also kind of resent it. I do believe there are some with other teams who think the cannon's kind of cheesy, kind of cornball.
Yeah.
And they make that known. And it's just like, okay, that's our thing. Everyone's got their thing. I mean, don't get me started on Vegas and the whole medieval knights thing before that. I think that is really corny AF, as they say, the kids say. So I think the cannon is not that big of a deal when it comes to traditions. I think myself personally, I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah.
It's easy to take shots at it.
No. Because my thing is, like, you've been, as an opposing team or opposing team media, you've been coming to Columbus for years for games. The cannon is a thing. Why are you still complaining about it?
Right.
Just stop. Just stop. It's getting old. I agree. Harry, I brought this up on the show earlier, but you're here. I'll share my thoughts on it since you did bring this up. So you, Tom,
I gotta admit, I've been ducking in and out of the show while watching football, so I may have caught it, but go ahead.
Well, I said it on last week's show, but I'll say it here.
Wow, okay.
But it's last week's show, but I'll say it here so you can hear it, which is this. The whole, oh no, Ohio State Blue Jackets, oh no, they might move the game. Well, first off, my opinion is don't move the game, because if
really, okay,
no, because here's the thing. If you're so worried about Ohio State that day, you weren't paying attention to the Blue Jackets to begin with. If like that's your big thing, you weren't really paying attention to the Blue Jackets. So it's fine. Go watch the game, have fun, and then come back the next Blue Jackets game. Also, we have 3 examples in Columbus sports where teams played at the same time and no start changes. In September of 2021, we had the Crew and the Clippers and a Blue Jackets preseason game going on at the same time. No one changed start times. This past February, we had the Crew and the Blue Jackets going on at the same time. No one changed start times.
Okay.
This past November, Ohio State football against UCLA played at the same time, home game, as the Blue Jackets. No one changed times.
Okay.
So we have 3 examples where no one changed times, and it's fine. This is another thing, too. The Blue Jackets have been in Columbus long enough, 25 years, that they've built up a fan base that shows up regardless of how good or bad they may be doing. And there's people now that I'm not saying it's a big number, but I'm saying that there are people that will pick a Blue Jackets game over Ohio State because the Blue Jackets have been here long enough to build up a fan base. So you really should be worrying about Ohio State.
I get
there's a few reasons why they can't move it.
Yeah, there's probably other reasons.
So one of the biggest reasons is that New Jersey Devils play the night before.
Yeah, that's true.
So they need that amount of time between the 2 games. Another reason is that it is the only game on New Year's Eve scheduled at 7 p.m. So you need that primetime game. You need that primetime slot. So for those 2 reasons, it's not going to move.
Okay. My other thing is with the examples you cited is that those are regular season game. This is a playoff game, and I just gotta say, being Ohio State and Columbus, it just seems. And I understand why they can't. And I saw the New Jersey Devils thing; they're playing the night before, so I get that. But just seems being that this is a college football playoff game, that there is going to be a lot of attention in this city focused on that as they make a run for a national championship. But, like I said, I'll be there. We've got tickets for New Year's Eve. So I'll probably, like I said, I'll be watching the football game on my phone. Hopefully they'll have a TV or 2 in the concourse on the football game. I imagine they're going to.
Sure, yeah.
You can duck out there during intermission and watch it. So,
but
it should work out fine.
Yeah, it's going to work out fine. But also, I'd say this: it's like Ohio State is always consistently good. They're always in a good bowl game. So this is nothing new. It's not like you're exactly missing out on something. They're consistently good. They're going to smoke that ass because realistically, most teams don't even come close to the level of Ohio State. This is the truth.
That. We're not playing James Madison though in this game. It's either going to be Texas A&M or Miami. So it's going to be a pretty decent challenge.
But Ohio State's going to smoke that ass. But
we shall see.
But that's that's just me. I don't really, Ohio State, you're like way up here, and then there's like everyone else kind of like
right
here. But that's kind of besides the point. That realistically, I just don't think that you should not be moving any other game. It just
and I get the feeling they're not. We're so close to the game now that
you can't. No,
they probably can't move it. Is that game nationally televised that night, the hockey game, or is it just the FanDuel?
I know, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because if you remember the last game the Blue Jackets played against the Devils, where it just became the Blue Jackets beat them 5-3, but that second period where they just a fight brawl bro, where you got 5 different fights and the Devils being dirty with dirty hits and fights and all this
And
other
then Evanson makes some comments after the game too about some of the stuff that went on.
Yeah. And all that other stuff. And Matthew Olivier saw that someone made a comment on Twitter. Oh, I wonder what Matthew Olivier thinks about this game. And he saw that tweet and liked it. So like he knows, and I think there's all that extra hype that might be the game that Matthew Olivier could be coming back.
That's what that was going to be my next question. Do you think he'll be back for that? He's probably targeting that game, I would imagine.
Yeah,
so
it's
that
like
game is going to be
gotta be
FanDuel.
back.
FanDuel.
Yeah, so but I like that. If I had to pick a game that maybe is nationally televised, I think it could be that, knowing what happened the game before and leading up to that game, and Matthew Olivier might come back and all that, sort of stuff. So it is what it is. And also, Harry, while I have you on here, I would like to say this. So I did make my post originally back the day when Ohio State beat Michigan, and give Ryan Day his flowers and all that stuff.
That's right.
I did.
Right. You've been a critic.
I have. Well, yeah. I have. I'm not. I'm sorry. He up until this past November, he sucked against Michigan, and I hated that. But that's besides the point. The point. But you're like, give his flowers and all this stuff, and I did. But I'll say it again right here to your face right now, so you can hear it again. Okay. So, Ryan Day, shout out to you. You finally got it done. You finally beat Michigan. Truly outstanding. Truly awesome.
They're tagging in your repost of this show, so watch it.
Truly awesome. Yeah. I keep watching a hockey show, but that's besides the point. It'd be cool though, but whatever. But the best of the best, outstanding. You finally got it done. You have the one thing that was like a black cloud hanging over your head that was holding you back, because everything you could say about Ryan Day was like, oh, he's a good coach and he does this and he's that, and he's won the Big Ten and he's won the national championship and he's done this and done that and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. But the one thing is like, oh yeah, but he sucks against Michigan, and I hated that. And that was the thing. That was the thing. Like, I in my mind, I imagine like he was in the woods and it was very dangerous. And every mistake that he made, it get closer and closer and closer to where, metaphorically speaking, he could have been gone forever. But each win that he had, slowly but surely, got him out of the forest. And then he was like at that point where it's like a 2 out of 10. You're almost there. You're not exactly out of danger yet, not out of the woods, but you're almost there. Right. And then he beat Michigan. And then it's like, whoop, all that pressure, you're out of the woods now. Now it's like, who cares? There's nothing that no one can go after you for, because who cares? Right. You are about to see a much more, freer Ryan Day. You
saw that in the playoffs last year too.
You did, but I'm talking even more freer. I'm talking even more freer now, because it's like now there's nothing that's holding them back. Nothing you can't say about him.
And quite honestly, I think he's going to have some pretty sustained success against Michigan, because that program's a dumpster fire now.
Well, yeah, there's that. Yeah, there's that too. There's that too.
They're about to launch their own investigation. They've hired a law firm out of Chicago to investigate their program. Yeah. So even they know, okay, there's a problem here. We have to figure out what's going on. Why is there, constantly every year now some cloud hanging over the Michigan program, the proud Michigan football program. So
yes,
we'll see how that turns out, see who they pick. I know this is a football program, so probably we're going on a little bit too long about this stuff, but it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out.
Dude, the Michigan football coach can't keep it in his pants. Like, come on now, dude.
Yeah, and at first I'm going to be, as being a diehard Michigan fan, not that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, let's not clip that. Being a diehard Michigan hater and a diehard Ohio State fan, it was easy to make fun of that situation at the beginning, but then as it got further and further in, and you learn more of the sort of details, then it was kind of like, all right, this isn't so easy to make fun of now with all that was going on, with him going after his mistress with knives, butter knives, but still knives,
Mental
and
health
just the
issues.
whole weird details that started to come out. That was kind of like, I'm a big Ohio State fan, but even this seems like a little bit dicey. I really don't want to poke fun at this because we're watching some lives be affected. Unfortunately, his family,
Yep.
his wife and his kid, their
Yep.
lives have changed forever now. So yeah, it just really turned out to be, quite honestly, a sad situation. So
Yeah.
hopefully that'll straighten itself out. But as far as the program itself, I hope it is in turmoil. I hope the actual
Well,
football program itself is unable to recover and they go
well,
into some
I
lean
wouldn't
years.
be. I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Day just went on an Urban Meyer path and just consistently smoked Michigan. And your next thing, Ryan Day, you be like Dean Evison and beat a Michigan team at the shoe. Just get it done. Just get it done.
I think next year that's probably going to happen.
But there's that. So that that is good. But the only thing that Michigan has right now athletically is their hockey team's consistently good, and they keep giving the Blues.
Their basketball team's pretty darn
Okay.
good too.
Okay, so basketball, basketball's good, but hockey is consistently good, and they keep giving the Blue Jackets good hockey players. So thank you. Like, I don't like Michigan, but it's like, thank you for being consistently good at hockey and keep giving the Blue Jackets good hockey players. Zach Werensky, Kent Johnson, Jack Johnson, Adam Fantilli. Like, thank you. So thank you, Michigan, for being consistently good at hockey and keep giving the Blue Jackets good hockey players, So that's just, that. We'll put this comment up on the screen. So from Boomtown 89ers, what's up, fellas? Are you happy with Fantilli's play so far this season? Happy with his deployment on the power play and the line he's playing on? So I would say yes, I am happy with how Adam Fantilli has been playing so far. Really good, especially he's really stepped it up once he started playing with Kirill Marchenko and Dmitry Voronkov. There was a stretch there where he had like 7 goals in 8 games. He had that game against Toronto where he just smoked them with the 3-point night, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, including the game-winning goal in overtime. Played really good, looked good on the power play. Everything that you could ask of Adam Fantilli, he's doing that. And honestly, he is looking like that future star in the making that you drafted him, that you think that he was going to be when you got him in the draft. So really have enjoyed watching Adam Fantilli play so far this season. So anything to say, Harry?
I have no complaints about Adam Fantilli. He's one of the true bright spots on this team. So nothing I can criticize. Sure, I'm happy with him. He's a star. He's one of the NHL's bright young stars. So no complaints there.
Oh, so Hefty Duck, anything to say?
I'm fairly happy with the way that Fantilli's playing now. I think at the beginning it took him like a little while to warm up, but I still have that feeling that he's warming up. But at the same time, overall pretty enthused.
Yes. So how many Blue Jackets games have you been to so far this season, Harry?
I think 6. I think New Year's Eve may be our 6th, 5th or 6th. So we got the 11-game package and probably make a few more than that. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Hopefully
So I think they will, but that's besides the point. So Harry, when you think about what, in your opinion, how would you rank the Blue Jackets jerseys between the home, the away, the third jersey, and like the outdoor jersey?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the outdoor jersey was pretty sweet. I liked it. I like our home jersey. I'm not the biggest fan of the away jersey. I guess I just like the blue better.
Yeah.
So it's basically just that. I like the blue better than the white. Overall, I think the jerseys are pretty cool. Maybe they could use a little bit of a freshen up next season. You would have thought maybe this season being the 25th anniversary, you'd have that, but It actually kind of low-keyed the anniversary, if you ask me, which may not be the worst thing in the world. But they kind of, they went with the outline of Ohio, the 25 inside, and it seems like that's been pretty much it. Which I guess, it's not a bad thing.
No. When you go to a Blue Jackets game, Harry, what's your favorite thing to eat?
Jesus, we always have to go there, don't we? Skyline nachos. They're always good. They're only $10. They're very good. Skyline chili cheese on a bed of nachos. They're delicious. Delicious. Quite honestly, the food at Nationwide Arena is pretty good.
Yeah.
Overall. They have a very good selection. I can't think of anything I don't like there. They do a good job. I've been to some other places, some other arenas, some other stadiums where the food isn't so great. So Nationwide Arena does a really good job. Schmitz is there. They do a good job. So no complaint. Jets Pizza. I love Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza is delicious. So no complaints. But usually the Skyline nachos. So maybe I'll have some of those New Year's Eve.
Let's go. Yeah. I love it. I love it. That is great.
What do you usually eat there?
From
Illinois.
Yes. So obviously I live in Illinois and I get in the car and drive 7 hours to Columbus.
Yeah, what's the first thing you're going to eat at the arena after the trip?
So I get in the car and I sit in the car for 7 hours. I get to Columbus, and every time I'm at a Blue Jackets game, it's 2 cheese conies from Skyline Chili, and I get a bottle of water.
There you go. I gotta get the Mountain Dew, but
well, it's fine. Though I will say this: last year I did make for one game actually no, it was 2 games. So I did the home opener trip for the first 2 games of the season last year. And then I did like a Cincinnati Columbus trip a couple weeks later in October, where I saw the Bengals play, and then 2 Blue Jackets games. And those 2 Blue Jackets games against the Oilers, where we smoked them 6-1 and then beat the Islanders 2-0. And those 2 Blue Jacket games, I tried something different because I kept seeing that Skyline Chili Jumbo Chili Cheese hot dog.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, damn, that looks good. Yeah. And but I kept on getting the cheese coney, but then I was like, you know what? Just this one time, though, both those one time for both those games, I got the cheese coney, the jumbo hot dog from Skyline Chili. And it's like, oh my God, this is awesome. But other than that, it's usually 2 cheese conies from Skyline Chili and a bottle of water.
There you go.
So
can't go wrong there.
No, you can't. That's usually what I get there. Probably coming back in March for 2 games.
That was my next question. I think I'm right on March. I don't think I'm going to be there much in March. I'll be preoccupied with the NCAA tournament. But
I feel you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next. When were you coming back? So
it's probably.
I don't mean to interrupt here. I gotta get going, guys. It's
a little late. I imagine 3 hours. Yes.
No, Hefty Duck, say your stuff, and then you can get out of here. Say your stuff.
No worries about it. Check me out on Instagram at Lance Strock.
All right. All right. So I'll say a couple more things, and then we can get out of here. Finish this up. But so